Welcome into the MPW Digital Postgame Show presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux. You probably know us by now. That's Chase. I'm Neil. There is 3:12 to go in Ole Miss's win over Austin Peay, barring the greatest comeback in the history of football. It's 54-17, Ole Miss, 3:12 to go. The other game that we're watching looks like Kentucky is going to put away Missouri, 35-28.
Not just put them away, but cover in the process.
Yeah, well, that's what's most important.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right.
Because frankly, I'll be
buried the
honest,
lead.
as they were going down a minute ago to try to kick a field goal and ended up getting blocked, Missouri couldn't do anything with it when they got it back. Had they blown the cover, I just wanted them to lose at that point, frankly.
Yeah,
like,
because
punishment for not covering is you should
punished.
lose you should lose the game.
You should be punished.
It's my
at that point.
A&M today. I wanted them to lose. Wanted Colorado to win that game to pull it off because A&M looked so crappy during their game today in Denver.
They did look really bad.
They looked horrible.
They did look bad. I didn't get to see all of that because, if I'm totally honest, I was driving back from Tupelo, and then when I got back, I had to watch my Hawkeyes because we won a rivalry game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How'd the other rivalry game go today?
Ruston beat Oxford by 2 scores.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's just what we do.
Yeah, I knew nothing about that game today.
Hashtag firmly founded.
Firmly founded.
Go Bearcats.
Okay, fair enough.
So we'll talk to Jeffrey Wright a little bit. We'll talk to Brian Scott Rippey. We will take your calls. We've got some stuff from the College Corner that we'll maybe give away, depending on how good the calls are. Whether you're one of those.
It's up to y'all. I mean, we have the stuff.
We have the stuff.
But we're also judge, jury, and executioner on who gets it.
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. It just kind of is what it is. I'll tell you this real quick before we get going because there's 2:45 to go in Ole Miss's game. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux puts everything they've got into bringing you game day with the taste of Louisiana. So dig into their mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Quality, fresh ingredients you can't help but crave. Coming soon in November, Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, more than a restaurant, 1737B, University Avenue in Oxford. It's that shopping center that has social wine and liquor. It's kind of behind Burger King. It's really, they're redoing the entire shopping center. It's going to look really nice when it's all said and done. Also, Walk-Ons creates an environment that fosters growth and belonging for all, where the team is bigger than the individual, where they exceed expectations and positively impact every community they serve. Think you have what it takes to bring people together and provide a memorable game day experience? Well, then visit 720 Highland Colony Parkway in Ridgeland to join their team today. Walk-Ons Sports Bistreaux, more than a restaurant.
Yeah, Kentucky is in victory formation, and, I mean, it's pretty much going to be it. There's going to be a couple seconds left when they have to kick or Missouri gets it or whatever they've done here. Ole Miss at 128. They're handing the ball to Kentrell Bullock pretty much every play now, just trying to get out of the night with, I mean, knock on wood for their sake, but it looks like for the most part a lot of health. A game that we'll talk about more in a minute and 28 seconds, but when it got everything they needed to out of this. They played very vanilla base offense, very vanilla base defense, second game in 5 days, and kind of hit every objective you were looking for out of a game against an FCS opponent. I know the board has freak-out moments because the board just has freak-out moments, but, you know.
Shout out to our boy Cole McCarty. He says, I just got called for pass interference. Cheers. Apparently there were a lot of PIs in this.
The refs didn't have the best night with pass interference. Miles Battle got called for a pass interference that looked pretty much textbook. He ran with the guy and then looked back and knocked the ball down. I mean, I don't know what else you can do.
I'll be honest. At 37-0, my attention span lagged.
It was dwindling just a little bit.
It was lagging, just quite a bit. And there were other games on. And then I started trying to get ahead on my column, which will be up as soon as the game ends. And I was getting ahead on 10 Thoughts a little bit because Carson's got another game in Tupelo tomorrow that I'm going to try to get to. So I was trying to kind of work ahead, and I would look up, and I realized I'd missed 2 series. And
how'd they do today?
They won. They won 5-0 and then 5-3.
Did they?
Yeah, they played well.
Who'd they play?
Played a team out of Jackson called Brilla,
Okay.
and they play at a team out of Starkville.
Is that associated with the professional team out of Jackson? Like, is that some sort of lower, like not lower level professional team, obviously, but is that like something they sponsor or something, do something with?
This is a question that I'm unable to answer.
Because the Jackson professional team is Brillo something.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe so. Maybe it's part of their deal.
Yeah.
And then they beat a team out of Starkville.
Okay. Although he technically plays for Tupelo, right?
He does. He plays for Tupelo. I guess it's technically Tupelo United Football Club is what it's called.
Is all that fit on the jersey?
They've got a little crest thing, and then they're sponsored by Renaissance.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
So it makes Cole happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
45, and we're taking, so that will be pretty much it. Ole Miss 54, Austin Peay 17. We'll get into some thoughts about Ole Miss in a second. First, though, just to kind of set the stage a little bit for the evening, because unlike last week, or at least on Monday night, we actually have conference games to talk about here. And
really, that's where the stories
those
are
are the
today.
stories.
I mean,
we'll hit on some Ole Miss stuff, but the crazy world of SEC football today, where Ole Miss has to go to bed feeling pretty good because there are a lot of flawed football teams in this conference. There are a lot of teams that looked weird in a multitude of ways today. Alabama obviously runs over Mercer, but they had a couple potential injuries in that game. I mean, as they start getting banged up, it does make you start wondering a little bit. Miami looked like crap today against Appalachian State. What does that mean? Who knows? Because, I mean, doing any kind of transitive property in college football was the biggest fool's errand out there. Georgia ran all over UAB 56-7 over the Blazers. Texas A&M looked like absolute crap. They did have a backup quarterback in for a good bit of the game, but their offense was pathetic for 3.5 quarters today. 10-7 over Colorado. They deserve to lose that football game.
Colorado's offense, by the way, was every bit as bad as Texas A&M's defense, and so it's hard to say.
Yes.
And we'll dive into all of this at some point. It's hard to – I haven't completely processed what I think I saw in Denver.
That's a good point. I am really mad at Dan Mullen right now because he was basically covering at halftime and then did nothing in the second half and allowed South Florida to cover easily 42-20, the Gators over the Bulls today. A team that NC State beat 41-0 last week. So that's all on Dan Mullen. It's his fault today. Dan Mullen is who I'm mad at. A sign that Texas better get ready for a consistent schedule in the SEC. Texas Arkansas knocking off Texas 40-21, storming the field there in Fayetteville. The jokes write themselves as it comes to the Longhorns getting just out physical today in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
They were beaten up.
Got popped.
Is what they were doing.
And Arkansas will get some criticism for the storming the field and celebrating and stuff, but if you've been there and you sort of know how they have felt about, frankly, how much they love Sam Pittman. Everybody likes to make fun of him. His team's really well coached, and the kids play really hard for him. He does a lot of campus stuff. They really like him, and that fan base is hungry for a big win, and there are a lot of Texas kids at Arkansas, and so that was a big win on that campus. And like you and I were talking about, welcome to the SEC, UT, because in this league, if you don't show – you get popped. And the difference is next week you don't get to play Kansas. You go to Florida. You go to Auburn.
Texas gets beat 40-21 by a quarterback that only threw for 138 yards.
What did Arkansas put on the ground?
138.
What did Arkansas run for against Texas? That's what ought to send shivers up their spine.
I'll look it up. I got it right
Arkansas ended up being a middle-of-the-packish SEC team, 8th, 9th in the league, maybe.
Yeah.
Although that was a big – in terms of getting to a bowl game today, that was huge.
Well, now that's a good point.
I mean, for them, that was a big
333.
Ran for 333. That ought to tell you something about
333.
I mean, that ought to send you a message, Texas.
Auburn disposed of its second straight cupcake, beating Alabama State 62-0 today. South Carolina, they suck, and they beat a bad football team 20-17 in Greenville, North Carolina over East Carolina. Tennessee losing 41-34 to Pitt. That game went about how I thought it would. Pittsburgh winning there in Knoxville today against a Tennessee team that is not very good. The second quarter against Bowling Green told us a lot. And then speaking of bad football teams, especially a bad conference, the ACC, NC State, just getting whipped currently in Starkville, 24-10 right now. Mississippi State over the Wolfpack. They have dominated that game. as NC State can't do anything offensively. They've been awful. State was awful for most of the first half and still held a 14-3 lead at the break. So those games, Kentucky knocks off Missouri 35-28 in that one. LSU is handling McNeese, but it's not really
27-0.
And then Colorado State, last I saw, up 7-0 on Vanderbilt. So that is your rundown. But Ole Miss, they had one full practice day.
A part of me wants to turn on Texas game day final.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're staring at the Longhorn Network.
Is
here.
Utah BYU tonight?
Yeah, we got the Holy War tonight.
Oh, well, let's watch that.
Yeah. I
didn't know we had that gift.
We got told in that text yesterday. My buddy texted us about that yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we got the Holy War tonight. Look, the message board gets a little high strung. I mean, my first observation tonight, as I'm posting in a second, is guys, chill out, because Ole Miss handled that game exactly how you would like a pretty good football team to handle an FCS opponent on short rest. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were not going to scheme this game up and make it look pretty. They did everything they needed to do. They threw back on schedule when they needed to. They scored a ton of points. Matt Corral threw for 5 touchdowns. They ran the ball effectively. They averaged like 9 yards a carry in this game. They completely dominated the line of scrimmage. They sat some players that needed to be sat, because I highly doubt that Orlando Amana is out permanently or anything's crazy wrong there. He played every snap against Louisville on Monday night. I think it was precautionary. I mean, there was very
My guess is that they didn't want him playing 2 games in 5 days.
Right. For the situation, that game went completely fine while also giving Lane Kiffin plenty to bitch about moving forward. So there was nothing about that game at all that fans should be overly freaked out about, except for they do have to cut down on some penalties. That's 255 yards, I think, in penalties in 2 games. Some of it's lack of focus, and some of it's just kind of dumb stuff. Because we talked about the targeting last week. This week it's pass interference. They do have to clean that up. There's some special team stuff that's a little weird from a penalty standpoint, because that's hidden yardage that will absolutely get you beat in a close game. And then just in general, they had some lack of focus penalties today that they, frankly, even next week need to clean up when Tulane comes to town.
Did you expect a really focused football team?
No, not in. I mean, and then once it gets to be even 23-0, human nature says, okay, this game is over, and your head's going to kind of slip a little bit. It's going to kind of be whatever it is.
I mean, they got in on Tuesday morning. They practiced twice.
Yeah.
Their head coach wasn't there. They looked at film. They knew there was a 0 chance they were going to lose this game. You knew it would be sloppy. You knew it would be semi-unfocused, etc. It was almost identical to what I expected. I don't know what score I predicted. I don't remember, but I expected a big win, sloppy win.
Yeah, I think I picked 49-20 is what I picked.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I picked, and it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of what I thought it would be. Got a big game Saturday, Tulane. We'll talk about it a little bit as we get going into the week and stuff. And then, look, October the 2nd starting to loom. It is.
One more win away. I mean,
October the 2nd starting to get big.
And Ole Miss went over Tulane, and Alabama went over Florida.
Well, their Alabama wins or not. Big shot for Ole Miss. It's a free shot for Ole Miss. A free shot.
Center stage, and here it is.
Yeah, and it's a big corral shot, because you look around the country, and the list of guys that are really going to be legitimate Heisman candidates.
Like I said, the list just keeps shrinking.
It's a really small list.
Well, because, I mean, look, even those second-tier guys aren't doing anything. I mean, Corral's the only one that's jumped into the top tier and has become a threat because, I mean, there's been all this talk in the offseason about, well, what if Brock Purdy does this? Iowa kicked their ass today. Like, that's it. It's over. Done. Like, peace.
Say it again. Iowa did what?
They kicked Iowa State's ass today. Yes, that's true.
Good job, fellas.
They were down 3-0, and then
Hawkeyes.
went on a pretty good run.
Hawkeyes, baby.
How much of that did you catch?
Last 3 quarters. I watched a lot of it. It was actually a fun game. It was a great uniform game. Iowa State.
You liked the Iowa State suits?
I did.
Okay.
It was a good suit.
Yeah.
And the Iowa road suit is just, it's straight fire.
It's a good suit.
It's a great suit.
Good suit.
It's a great suit.
I have no idea what Luke Altmaier's injury was. I know he walked off, appeared to be holding something, but I don't know.
Someone said abdomen.
Yeah, that's what Richard said on the broadcast. I don't know. We'll find out. I have no clue.
I'm gonna go ahead and get Jeffrey.
Okay.
You can keep talking. You're good.
Yeah. Okay.
My column's up. By the way.
Oh yeah, I need to hit the button. I forgot that. I'll do it when y'all start talking. The cat video was one of the more entertaining things today. Thank God they caught the cat. The cat was fine. Although I do agree, that cat had to be scratching the hell out of everybody down there, right?
Well, they kept picking the cat up, and you know the cat is absolutely fearing for its life, and he's just clawing at people. And you're like, what are y'all doing? Leave it alone.
Because even beyond it falling, it's in a crowd of people. The cat is going to freak the hell out.
Of course. It just fell 100 feet and got saved by a flag. Of course the cat's freaked out.
Put the cat down. Let the cat do whatever.
I mean, what are you doing?
And cats will claw your eyes out. I mean,
for sure. And those people deserve to have their eyes clawed out at that point. Jeffrey, how are you?
Do you know how many times I've heard about this freaking cat?
Listen, we just got through watching. What was the final score? 54 to 20 or something.
I don't know.
Whose fault is that he built an office with one television?
No, we have a second television.
There's 2 TVs in here now.
Oh, Moneybags McGee.
The other wall has one too.
Yeah.
I'm poor and I have 3 TVs on a wall.
I mean, we could add TVs.
We could put them all around the room.
I mean, we really could. It's a thought.
Yeah, I guess.
Again, I'm well aware of how your business is doing. You can afford the 3rd TV.
I could put one right there.
And you have DirecTV. Guess what you have to do? You just add a little wireless box for $4 a month.
Oh, that's a thought.
What game were we missing? What are you upset about? I missed the first sentence here.
Oh, I'm not upset. It's just like you're like, well, I just had to watch this Ole Miss game. It's like,
we were sort of like obligated though.
Right. I was too. And guess what I did? I cut a deal with my wife that said as soon as the game got to the half, we could move it down to a bottom TV. We didn't have to.
Colorado State has added another touchdown, by the way. That feels like a pretty good cover now at 14-0 Rams.
Oh, but they missed a field goal. They took 3 off the board. They made a field goal to make it 17-0, and then there was a false start, and then he blocked it dead right.
Well, look, it's not going to be clean when it's a team that lost to East Tennessee State and a team that lost to South Dakota State. You can only hope for so much today.
When did Colorado State switch to orange? I thought they were.
Or I think that is a hat tip to canvas the people that clearly paid for their stadium.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's smart.
I mean, again, listen, us 3 cannot say anything. Our number one rule is if the check clears.
Yeah, I've got all the respect in the world for that. Jeffrey joining us, by the way, on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline.
I mean, listen, I don't know about there was like a gas card scam that I was hawking for about a month and a half. So again, there's no moral compass here.
What do we make out of that Colorado A&M thing today, Jeffrey?
First off, you gotta applaud me.
Okay.
Rory McIlroy. Rory refuses to believe that wind exists. I refuse to believe that elements exist. Altitude does not exist. I refuse to believe in it. The only time we ever hear about altitude is when the Broncos are good. When the Broncos suck, no one ever complains about going into Mile High and kicking their ass.
It's a fair point.
But I think that game entirely changed when Haynes King got hurt because the Zapruder film was just god-awful. It was not a stretch of the imagination to believe that Haynes King won that job.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
But,
yeah.
I mean, King's in a boot. Is there any word about what his situation is?
I assume that he broke something because as soon as he got hurt, he came off the field. They took him to the locker room, and there was never even a consideration of, oh, maybe he'll return. Like, it was obvious. Jimbo started coaching the other kid because, to me, again, I didn't see if there was an official diagnosis, but I assumed that it was going to be out for a while.
They're solid on defense. We were just talking about this a minute ago. You saw more of that game than I did. I was driving back from Tupelo, and then I got into the Iowa game because I had to, obviously keep up with my team.
Excuse you, our team.
Oh, so you're an Iowa person too, yeah. So was this Colorado's bad? I mean, I watched them offensively. That quarterback's not good, bless his heart. I'm sure he's a nice young man and his parents love him, but there's not much there. How much of that was just A&M's defense being dominant, and how much of that was Colorado's offense sucks?
It was a lot of Colorado's offense sucking. Now, your offense tends to look like it sucks when they get beat up front every single play. I mean, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So
well, if you're getting beat up front every single play, you do suck.
You can't do anything.
Right.
But I do think A&M's defensive front's going to beat a lot of people.
I do too. It's very good. No, it's very talented. No question.
There were multiple opportunities that he had to make plays that could have led to a different outcome, and he just wasn't good enough to do it. But that's also why he's the quarterback at Colorado. I mean, last year they took a guy that was moved to safety, and they got the new coaching staff, and then the new coaching staff said, "We don't have a quarterback, and we'll give you a shot." And then this is the guy that they're playing. I mean, the thing with A&M is if Haynes King is out, like they've got problems. I mean, how many teams not named Alabama or Ohio State can weather, playing their backup quarterback and still being successful? I mean, I think the truth is that was the biggest. If you're an Ole Miss fan, that was the biggest storyline today.
I agree. I mean, okay. This is hot take central.
What are you doing?
I'm pulling up A&M's schedule because I want to look at it revised. So Texas A&M's 2-0. They get New Mexico. They'll beat them.
By the way, quick aside, can I rant real quick?
Why not?
Why not? Sure.
What the hell do you think you are, Colorado, locking your stat broadcast? I mean,
did they really?
Yes.
I had no idea where we were going. If you'd given me 100 guesses as to where we were
pissed
going,
off at Colorado Media Relations.
But I was so pissed because the show that I have to do, it's so freaking poor person. We have to stream on Roku, so I'm always behind. I'm trying to keep up. I've got 15 games going at once. Like, that is what I'm born to do, is to, like, moderate a show where there's that many games going on. But the easiest way to do it is if you have stat broadcasts, it can help, because you're having to switch games and whatnot. And it just infuriated me that Colorado thought so high and mighty of themselves that they're going to lock out their stat broadcasts. But I can give you the rundown. Here was A&M's offensive possessions: 3-and-out punt, 4-and-out missed field goal, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 10 plays, field goal, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, and then they had like a turnover later. It wasn't even like, they weren't, they were making critical mistakes. They were just 3-and-outs.
All right, so A&M. New Mexico next week, that's a win. Arkansas in Arlington goes from being, that's a win, to at least we have to talk about it, right?
In fairness, even when Arkansas has been awful,
they've played well in that game, because it's a big game for them. They get geeked up to go play
They always play it at 11 a.m. at Jerry's World, and there's like 11 people there, and it's that sleepy, awful environment, and nobody gets up.
Well, but I'll tell you, shows is the whole Arkansas campus goes to that game because half of it's from Texas. Anyway, because so Arkansas, that's at least we have to discuss it. Mississippi State, it's in College Station. I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt. The Alabama game is no longer a Super Bowl. I mean, shame on CBS. You bought into that, and you're going to pay.
I know this is an Ole Miss show, and I know a lot of people. By the way, everyone that told us that we were crazy for that Mississippi State pick, this is exactly what. And here's the other reality of the situation. I'm telling you, Neil, with their quarterback, I agree with you on the New Mexico game. With the kid that they had playing quarterback tonight, it is a true test of whether or not Jimbo can truly get production from anything.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at. I watched some of Arkansas. I watched a good bit of Arkansas tonight. I watched some of Mississippi State tonight, and I'm not prepared right now today to go, Texas A&M gets W's over them. Do I think they probably get wins against them? Yeah, probably. But I'm no longer putting those wins like in ink the way that they had been. I'm now erasing some of the ink. They lose to Alabama. They have to go to Missouri. They'll beat South Carolina. But as of today, and this is where the hot takes kick in, I'd have them losing to both Auburn and Ole Miss.
Yeah, and also Basilak looked like he got hurt.
He did there. He did. He looked at the end. He looked like something bad happened. Lower extremities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kentucky for trying to keep that as close as possible.
Yeah, because that felt very comfortable until it didn't. It was all good there for a while. Kentucky or Florida for second in the East?
From what okay, here's the thing. Do we have an update on Richardson? He got hurt today too. That kid's electric, by the way.
I don't have any. I know nothing. I saw not one down of the Florida game.
The kid from Gainesville that, homegrown boy. He's not a pure passer, but I mean the thing is, Emory Jones he's killing him throwing the football, and he's supposed to be the passer. But he can't throw it to his own team. So if he's going to be their guy, I think it's Kentucky. Because listen, Levis isn't a perfect quarterback, and I'm not saying he's going to be SEC Player of the Year, but he is a level of quarterback that they have not had. He's a legitimate quarterback.
Oh, we're so far from Terry Wilson in this thing for them. I mean, it opens up completely where we're even having this conversation.
I mean, to me, it's Kentucky, but again, if Richardson is okay, that's a different situation. But I mean, the thing with them is, they're going to go get smoked by Alabama by 1,000 next week.
Yeah, they're going to get. All right, I did this with Chase. I'll do it with you. I'll do it right here on the thing, and I'll hate myself for it. And it's not anything to do with what Mercer did or didn't do or any of that.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Alabama's got a couple of key injuries on defense. They're not as good up front on the offensive line as I think they normally are. You lose that many people to the NFL year after year after year. At some point, the law of averages say it catches up with you a little bit. Now, I know that they're a different program. I get it.
You're not getting me down this path. Y'all two can group think yourself. You can be journalists and group think yourself into that you're being brilliant. But there's one program that has consistently proven that, yes, you can give up 9 guys to the NFL. And then when literally
I guess, Neil, what is your point? That they're at least susceptible to somebody? I mean, how far are we going here?
No, I'm not going.
Because I'm still picking them to go 12-0.
Yeah, I'm picking them to go 12-0, but I think they're a little more vulnerable than maybe we thought they were. They're a little more vulnerable than maybe they typically are.
Nick set this up. He set this up on Tuesday with the whole, we had a terrible day of practice on Monday. If you look at the second half, we only won 17-16. When their starters were playing our third team, we only kept them out of the end zone twice to win 17-16. He coached this game for it to be the score that we've seen. Guys,
I'm just talking about up front, man. I'm watching them up front. That's all I'm saying. On the offensive front, they're not what they always are.
Yes, but he finally has a kid that has good feet that doesn't have good feet that tries to run. He has good feet to extend the play to let one of those receivers that runs a freaking 4.2 get open underneath.
Well, that's true. If you told me that I couldn't have Corral in the SEC, the only guy maybe in the country, the only guy that I'd think about is Bryce Young.
I'm with y'all.
So what did you think about Ole Miss tonight? And look, I've already forgotten the final score. I mean, it is what it is. What did you think of any takeaways at all from what Ole Miss did with Austin Peay?
The only thing that might be an issue, I do think the penalties are now starting to become more than a trend. Like I think the penalties are now, some of those definitely on defense, like those are judgment, whatnot, but they're having too many alignment penalties. They're having too many things that like you can truly just correct by, getting in the right place. But beyond that, I mean, to me, the biggest question is, do they stay healthy? Because I'll play this game with you if you want to go with Alabama.
Okay.
you can convince me that if Bryce Young comes out and, maybe one or two of those balls get tipped, maybe a receiver drops the ball, and Ole Miss has got a pretty good secondary that's around the ball, and they turn those into turnovers, you can talk me into that game's not as comfortable as Alabama wants it to be. And all of a sudden, think about this last year, and I'm not going to name names, but let's be real. That game was going to be very awkward for Alabama if Ole Miss could have, snapped the ball to their quarterback.
Yeah, if Ben Brown snaps the ball better, it's a completely different game late fourth quarter. It just is.
And neither team was stopping either team, but in that situation, when the score gets higher, there's a higher variance of results, which typically favors the underdog. And so you can talk me into a situation where Ole Miss walks into that game and they've got the quarterback that's played more. They got the quarterback that's more experienced. They got the quarterback that's more comfortable. They've got the quarterback that has worked with his offensive coordinator more, and there's a better understanding of what they do well. You can talk me into that game getting weird and Ole Miss not being completely out of it.
And maybe more than anybody other than Georgia doesn't get psyched out by Alabama and losing the game before you get into it. You know what I mean? I mean, Alabama beats so many. They're better anyway, but they beat so many damn opponents before they ever walk into the damn arena. And for whatever reason here lately, that's not the case with Ole Miss.
I'd argue that Georgia gets psyched out by Alabama.
Yeah, that's fair, probably.
Utah BYU is going to be a fun game. I'm glad we have this on. Utah just scored. It's going to be 10.
It's a great uniform game.
It is a fantastic uniform game.
Says the person that clearly isn't laying 7 right now.
You look at Ole Miss's schedule. It's funny how we do this. Look, I think Ole Miss is going to beat Tulane. I think it's going to be uncomfortable, but I think they're going to win the game. For kicks.
Out here come the doors. Anchor down, baby.
Oh, Vanderbilt scores a touchdown. Wow. Look at that.
Good for them.
Good for them.
God, Colorado State sucks.
But so let's give them a win over Tulane. Let's just give them a loss in Tuscaloosa.
All right.
Suddenly, I mean, just kind of what else is there to talk about tonight, right? Kind of.
What was the LSU final? It was only 14-0 at half.
It's 27-7 the last I saw. Isn't
Oh.
that funny? Like right now, I would say that Arkansas is a more challenging game for Ole Miss than LSU.
Oh, God, I can't wait for his end. It's going to be so delightful.
Yeah, he's done. No, he has no chance. So Arkansas at home. I think Ole Miss beats Arkansas. I think Arkansas is kind of getting interesting. Tennessee's an easy game. I watched them some today on my phone. They suck.
They might have backdoored their way because Heupel clearly brought in Milton to be his guy, and then Milton got banged up, and it allowed him to play Hendon Hurden, and he's not as incompetent. I will say this, man.
Does Heupel ever exercise? By the way, that guy gets bigger by the day. He looks fatter than he did a week ago.
I'll be honest. His post-game speech and how he looked after the win over Bowling Green, any confidence I had in him went away right there. Just looking at the way he looked and the way he was talking, and he had the backwards hat on, I went, nope, there's no way that would be my coach.
No.
Like I'm out right there. I mean, I'm kind of like Mark. I mean, I'm Eeyore right now if I'm a Tennessee fan.
No, I mean, but my deal is, are you giving him credit for finally getting hair plugs this year? I mean, Chase, you saw Drew Brees on Thursday. That's your guy. If you're going to give credit to Brees, you got to give credit to Heupel for plugging it up this year.
Yeah, Brees hadn't gained 60 pounds and looked like he ate somebody.
Well, first off, it's a stressful job. Brees has got that cushy media
that's a good
job.
point.
I mean,
That's a good point. Look, you should do everything you can do. So Heupel, if that helps and that gives him just a touch more confidence, that's all good. But dude should find a treadmill.
He really needs to get.
Here's where y'all are wrong on this. He's playing this brilliantly. He couldn't afford to win back-to-back games. The perfect scenario for him this year is to alternate wins and losses and go 6-6. Because if he goes 6-6 and finishes the year, as long as he finishes the year with a win, and they can build on it. Like if Pruitt would have gone 6-6 this year, they would have fired him. But if he goes 6-6, they can act as if it's the freeze, it's the 2012 freeze, and you build on it, and you can use that wonderful alumni base and start recruiting.
I don't know that the schedule is going to work out for them the way that it worked out for Hugh.
And don't forget they remember November. Don't forget
I'm looking
that.
at it. They're going to beat Tennessee Tech. They'll put them at 2-1. They'll lose to Florida. That's 2-2.
So far, he's perfect. He's alternating wins.
They lose at Missouri.
Okay.
South Carolina is a toss-up at this point.
They're horrific. Did you get to watch any of that game?
No, I didn't. I was watching.
Now,
I was watching Tupelo versus Brilla.
If Doty, I guess you didn't lay 2 points this morning. No, they're horrific.
All right, so they get that one. Then they're going to lose to Ole Miss. They're going to lose to Alabama. They're going to lose to Kentucky. They're going to lose to Georgia. So to get where you're talking about, they have to beat South Alabama and Vanderbilt at the end.
Sincere FU to our boy Kane. Did you watch that mess today?
I know they came back and won, but it looked like it was sloppy.
He had to, he was laying 14 against Bowling Green, and Bowling Green is one of the worst football teams I've ever seen. And they hit a field goal at the buzzer. Congrats to the young man that hit the field goal. I was very upset with Kane's plan.
I'll tell him. I'll text him here in a minute.
He knows the number matters.
I will make sure that
yeah,
Kane is aware.
But I mean, we're talking.
So just real quick, back to Ole Miss. Anything that you took from it?
I mean, I think the thing that was impressive to me is they showed up to a game pretty, let's be real, pretty checked out, and they dominated the game. They did not play well. They clearly were not sharp, which is entirely reasonable, by the way. They played Monday night. That's entirely realistic. But they just kind of took care of business. And to me, that is kind of the sign of a good team, is if, even if you don't play well, you still look up and you go, oh, God, it was, 54-17. What was it?
Something like that.
54-17.
I believe the offshore line was 34, too. So, so far they're exceeding expectations. I guess if I had to nitpick a little bit, there seems to be a little bit of miscommunication. I felt like Matt, first off, we're going for a Heisman here. Matt had way too many incompletions that, in my opinion, were not his fault. He had guys running the wrong routes, and you could tell he was looking over the sideline, getting very frustrated, whatnot. You guys got to clean it up, boy.
Drummond not high pointing the ball and getting that extra touchdown there. That was the one.
But I did like how he tried to sell it like he didn't drop it. I did appreciate that.
And I think Mingo easily could have gotten that call on the other one.
I think he could have. I will say, when you looked at that one back angle, it did look like the nose of the football hit the ground. But, I mean, tonight was like the opposite of Monday night where, he gets 5 touchdowns that were kind of they all just felt super easy. And it felt like on Monday night he should have had 6 touchdowns, and you look up until they hit that little flip pass. He didn't even have a single touchdown. And tonight it just felt like oh, he's doing nothing. Also, I guess this is the question. How much Matt running is too much running?
Tonight was too much running.
Tonight is
okay. So I'm not alone in that.
No, he should not be running.
And he should have never run in the second half, no matter of the situation.
Yeah.
He was lower in the shoulder in the second half.
He's running through 2 games. He's running too much. When you look at so let's go here. We needed a topic. Both backup quarterbacks didn't look good. Matt Corral doesn't need to be running unless it's a play where it's to get a first down to put Alabama away, or a play that you need to get a first down to clinch the Arkansas game, or whatever the case may be. But he does not need to be running the football the way that he's running it, and it's a little bit too much of their offense right now.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I don't ever want to tell a competitive guy, hey, man, stop competing. But at the same time, man, you don't need to be having Austin Peay taking you down to the ground. I'm sorry, you just don't. And I don't know if Lane Kiffin would admit it in front of the whole team, but I definitely think Lane Kiffin would tell him that in a room, don't you?
Yeah, I have a suspicion that both Lane Kiffin and Jeff Lebby will have that conversation this week.
So here's my theory.
And you know what the way you get it across to him, or any quarterback, is you say, hey, look, You're playing your way into the top part of the first round of the NFL draft. When you get to the NFL, they'll fine you when you run the football.
Well, I mean, see Cam Newton, MVP to cannot play anymore because he doesn't have a shoulder.
Yeah, that's not the hit you take.
I mean, to me, it's the concern with Josh Allen.
That he's overly competitive. It is the one big question with like a team like Buffalo is, can he dial it in? Can you occasionally say, because look, it's one thing if you're like KJ Jefferson at Arkansas, where that is your game, right? I mean, you're never going to be the elite passer. What gives you a chance, I should say, to be a decent college quarterback is your ability to win with your feet. Yes. If you're Corral and you have this elite arm and you can do so many things with your arm that a guy like Jefferson can't, when you allow your game to become about your feet, you also jeopardize your arm every time that you go running it. I mean, he got really lucky, honestly, against Louisville that cheap shot didn't result in an injury. Well,
I mean, first off, I thought he got lucky that it wasn't a concussion situation because I thought that was very much in play. And I don't know, to me, if this guy stays healthy, we're talking about a situation now where Texas A&M just lost their starting quarterback. LSU is a dumpster fire. I do agree with you. We're seeing with Auburn. Auburn and Ole Miss are very similar to me in this sense. Their first 25 to 30 guys, I think, can play with a lot of guys and play with pretty much anybody. But the question is, who stays healthier? And the question is, do they get how does the schedule break for them? And do they get the right opponent in the right week? And you're now talking about an opportunity where, if Matt Corral stays healthy, the win total could start with a 1.
Well, and that's required for the Heisman. I mean, if we're really having a Heisman conversation, 10-2 is floor.
Absolutely floor.
I mean, I think it kind of. How does this read me the end of the schedule? Because I know the problem he has is that the Alabama game.
And because here's the thing, I heard Mint say this in the pregame show.
The end of his schedule is after we talked about LSU and Auburn. It's Liberty and Oxford, Texas A&M and Oxford, Vanderbilt and Oxford, and Mississippi State and Starkville.
So he has the tough situation because RG3 went 9-3 and won it, but his big showcase game was at the end of the season. They had Oklahoma, and he lit up Oklahoma pretty good.
Well, and the other problem is that if you happen to beat Alabama, because Neil talks about, hey, if you happen to win that game, and I get the if, but just for the sake of the damn conversation, if you win the game, you can't go lose 2 or 3 other ones. You know what I mean? Like if you win them, then suddenly I think you got to go 11-1.
Yeah, no, I'd buy that because there is this weird reality, and it's probably not fair because it is supposed to be an award for the entire season. If you go back, I mean, at least in my 10 years of being a professional, the guy that was the favorite in October never won.
Mm-hmm.
Except Cam, and I guess maybe Tua. But, you don't want to be the October favorite.
Matt Corral needs A&M to be really good so he can win a game in November.
Yeah, and I mean, the truth is...
Because if A&M's going to be pedestrian, Matt Corral has to beat Alabama to win the Heisman.
Well, and the truth is you need State to keep winning. Because if he goes on the road on Thanksgiving night when everyone's just sitting there and
Sure, that game has to have some sort of a...
buzz.
It's got to have a buzz. It might even have to have some sort of a conference championship ramification, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go down that
road. How does the ceiling change if we're just talking about, or the floor change if we're just talking about getting to New York?
I mean, do what Eli did. You can go 9-3.
Okay.
I mean, the truth is Eli Manning would have won the Heisman if Jonathan Nichols makes 2 field goals or doesn't.
That's true.
8-0 in the SEC and he wins the Heisman.
There's no doubt.
Won the SEC championship, and they were ready to right the wrong of not giving the award to Peyton. But, Chris Collins either did or didn't step out of bounds. Eli missed a couple of throws. I remember one he missed Eric Rice on that tight end, right up the middle. early in the game, and then, LSU's defensive line ate Ole Miss's offensive line alive. But if they would have won that football game, Eli wins the Heisman. Like, there's no doubt about that in my mind.
No, I agree with that. I don't think there's any question about that.
I mean, voting at that point, don't you think that's what you would have done?
I mean, I voted for Eli anyway.
I mean, in fairness, if you had any context of what Ole Miss was, you would have voted for Eli Manning.
Yeah, I voted for Eli that year. I voted. It was like Manning, Fitzgerald, and I can't remember who was third. I didn't even have White on my ballot.
Jason freaking White. That was the
Chris Perry finished 5th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Michigan running back.
Yeah, I can't remember who I had third. It may have been him. I don't know. But no, if Ole Miss wins that day against LSU, Eli wins the Heisman. Yeah, no doubt.
You got a you got a late pick gambling wise. If anybody's been losing all day and needs a flyer, we got any second half lines or anything that we need to jump on?
Well, I mean, I think everything's kicked off.
That's what I'm saying. So live betting, what we got?
Right now, I have USC Stanford is developing into exactly what you would expect USC and Stanford to develop into. I mean, right now, technically, Colorado State. I don't know. Do you have the second half? What is it? Just went to the halftime, and it's at it's 14-7. I do not trust Vanderbilt to score again.
So you like Colorado State minus whatever they are in the second half?
Correct. And Adazio is the type of meathead that when he gets a chance to run it up, I think he's going to do it, especially when he knows he's not. This team's terrible and he's not going to have many wins. Let me see what we got. College football second halves -3. Okay, I just took it.
Colorado State -3.
Yes.
Okay.
So why lose a bet once when you could lose it twice?
So
And
what is the
under-
line in this BYU Utah game?
The line was 7 in favor of Utah at home.
Okay.
I took BYU, but it felt like a trap.
Hang on, BYU's at home, aren't they?
Yeah, BYU's at home.
Oh,
but like
gotcha.
that
Okay.
felt like a trap. Like, oh, we're giving you 7 points in this game.
Yeah.
7 points there at home. Take it, you idiot. Well, I'm an idiot, so I took it. Also,
go ahead.
I have the over in Stanford USC. If we get one more score here, I don't feel terrible.
Before we let you go, one early thought on Ole Miss and Tulane.
Tackle. Pratt is going to put some pressure on you in terms of getting out wide. I think it's going to be very, very important for the defense to keep leverage. Don't give up the end, because if he breaks contain, he's very good at extending plays and beating you deep, and you just can't cover forever. And then offensively, keep it on. I mean, what are the turnover numbers thus far?
For who?
He hasn't thrown a pick. Did
No.
they fumble?
No, he is not. Snoop fumbled tonight.
Yeah,
But
Connor
Corral
fumbled.
hasn't done anything.
But, I mean, as a team, their turnover margin has to be relatively decent, right?
Correct. Yeah, I think they only have one turnover.
Yeah. So, to me, that's also a tip of the cap to Matt Corral. Like, they don't ever really, they don't really put themselves in bad spots. And, it's continue on. It's tackle next week. Don't give them, if you look at the Oklahoma game, they got a bunch of short fields. So don't give them short fields. Make them go the length of the field, and they're not good enough to beat.
Okay. Anything else? No.
Nope. Jeffrey, appreciate the time as always.
Aaliyah says the guy that was the interim at Southern that's now Austin Peay's coach, she says that he's a snack, and she would like that conversation to begin.
Okay. We'll try to get to that at some point. Maybe not tonight, but at some point.
And I was told that he doesn't get enough credit for being a snack, and that conversation.
He's at Austin Peay.
Well, yeah, but he was, he did replace, who was our boy Jay Hughes, who got fired?
Jay Hobson.
Jay Hobson, yeah.
Was Hobson at Austin Peay?
No, it was at Southern Miss. The dude was the interim at Southern.
Tried to get the job, and they were terrible. And so then during he had like a COVID outbreak where the team didn't do anything for 2 weeks, and he interviewed for the Austin Peay job.
That was smart.
Good for him.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
What channel do we have Jacksonville State, Florida State on? Can we get that? There's a minute to go, and Jacksonville State has a chance to win the game.
You can give me some guidance.
I'm hoping someone gives us guidance. I have no clue. I got nothing. Air Force whipped Navy today from a physical standpoint.
That was a W. Someone give me where the station is.
How do we watch the Noles and the
Gamecocks? What
Gamecocks?
network is showing Noles and Gamecocks?
ACC network. Do we even have that?
Eesh.
That's a thing?
Is that on DirecTV?
I don't know.
Someone tell me what channel that is on DirecTV, please.
Yeah.
612. Okay.
Yeah. Georgia Rebel points out UAB beat Jacksonville State 31-0.
All right, here we go. $1:19 to go. Clock ticking. 2nd and 10. 3rd and 10.
I don't like their chances, but we're here.
Unfortunately for Florida State, Houston Nutt's not. For Jacksonville State, Houston Nutt is not coaching Florida State. This would be great, though. Oh, it's first down. First down. Move the football.
At least let's keep going.
He pops up and makes the signal with 56 seconds left. Oh, that's a big-time throw and catch right there. But they're not going to get 70 yards going this way.
No, they're going to have to. Something's going to have to kind of pop here.
Dude, you don't have time for that. Yeah, he's not thinking.
He's not a good quarterback for this situation at all.
There are no good quarterbacks. There are no good quarterbacks. In the college game today, how many people would you go, oh, that guy's a good quarterback? Matt Corral.
Like good?
No, a good quarterback. When you look at it, you go, that guy's going to play in the NFL.
I mean, there'll be a few, but
not many.
The three obvious.
TV Guide still exists?
Like the hard copy?
Yeah.
Guys, we got to get up the field. We have 29 seconds left.
This is not how you get 70 yards.
You throw the ball and see what happens.
Yes. You got to hope somebody
You got 2 timeouts.
makes a play.
Let's go.
Yeah. Someone's got to make a play. Yeah, Rattler, I guess. Although I like Corral much better than Rattler. I think I like Howell better than Rattler.
Ooh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
I've been anti on Howell, and I don't know if it's just because he plays for North Carolina.
You don't like Phil.
Well, no, it's beyond that, though. I mean,
y'all are buddies.
We are. It's a little bit of Trubisky thing, too, I think. I mean, he's getting the first down, but for God's sake, you have to go.
You have to burn a timeout here.
You can tell me he's limping.
Yeah.
Oregon looked good today. I mean,
actually,
I did not think Ohio State looked great, but Oregon looked really good today.
Oregon looked really good. If you're a voter, you have to put them in the top 5 right now because they went to Ohio State and won. Yeah, I agree. I do think Howell's a pro. Oh, yeah, we got to get Brian. Is that on FaceTime audio?
Sure. We can do what we did last time.
All right, send me that number again.
Yep.
I've got it somewhere, but I don't. We're going to get Brian Rippey here in just a second. Talk to him a little bit.
And we'll take your calls.
Yep.
And try to give some stuff away if y'all were any good.
What time did you wake up this morning?
I did not sleep well last night. I woke up. I actually woke up for the first time at 3:40.
Oh, that's
and then I fell back asleep from 5:10 to about 6:10. But no, I did not sleep much. I mean, I actually feel pretty good considering. I've been trying to hydrate. I mean, my mood is getting worse watching this quarterback run a 2-minute drill.
Brian Rippey, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're good. Chase is upset at the Jacksonville State quarterback.
The Jacksonville State quarterback is pissing me off right now.
I heard that. I heard Chase was getting in a worse mood by the something.
Are you watching this?
Promising start to the call.
Are you watching this?
I am. I'm actually watching you guys as well. We have a whole audience out in the living room watching you guys. I was told to ask Chase, what is that shirt? Is that a medium? What is going on with that?
No, it's kind of loose actually. Like this.
No, I dig the shirt. I was just curious. I had a list of questions I was written down to ask you guys.
Yeah, this one's actually. I mean, I wear a couple sometimes that probably are questionable, but this is actually not one of them.
This guy sucks.
He's driving me insane.
It is frustrating.
If this dude was the quarterback, Houston Nutt would have beaten Jacksonville State. He's no Cody Blanchard.
Who was the quarterback then?
Cody Blanchard.
Oh, Cody Blanchard. I don't remember.
You blocked that one out.
Well, I just remember watching it and going, that's the end. It's over.
Well, you started rooting against them after that.
That's true. I did. I had to fight the urge to root against them throughout the
Yes, I'm an old man. I'm like 82 in spirit.
Now you throw it down the field.
And he caught the damn thing.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
catch
he
it.
didn't. Oh.
No, he didn't catch it.
So now you got to throw a Hail Mary, right?
I mean, I don't think he can throw it that far. It's too late. All you needed was a field goal to send the thing to overtime.
They suck.
And they nickel and dime.
They got beat 31-0 by UAB.
Well, Notre Dame barely beat Toledo today.
Maybe everybody sucks.
It's certainly possible. So what up?
All right, last play of the game.
Oh, he can throw it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Shit.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
Oh, hell.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic. Did you see it, Brian?
What just happened? I'm just
Jacksonville State.
They threw
a
like
Hail
a
Mary
60-yard
and
touchdown
won.
pass on the last play.
Okay, who were they playing?
Florida State.
Oh, wow. That was 17-7 in the fourth, the last I saw.
2017 final.
Without Todd?
No, it's over.
It's over.
Jacksonville State just beat Florida State.
Oh, wow. And there's no Tick Barksdale to run up and down the field to rub it in
They
everybody's face?
screwed up the little ticker. It says 0-2 on Jacksonville State.
Yeah, no, they're not 0-2. They're 1-1.
They are 1-1. That's awesome.
Florida State is 0-2.
What are they? They're the Gamecocks, right?
They are the
Gamecocks,
Gamecocks.
yes.
They have
Holy.
good baseball uniforms.
Yeah. The
Wow.
the illustrious Jack Crow, I believe.
I want to see this again. Where's the safety over the top?
Yeah, I'm aware. Crow. I'm sorry. The quarterback is brilliant. He's wonderful. Did a hell of a job.
He did make a hell of a throw.
He did make
there.
a hell of a throw. Now I'm mad at the coaches because if he can throw like that, what were we doing for the
what were
last
you
minute
doing?
and a half?
Well, as much as I would love to make fun of you here, you're exactly right. Watch this play. All right, so they're in trips right, and he just ran a fly route.
Just ran straight by him.
And the safety
was on the other side of the field.
safety was jogging. 23 was jogging. He didn't hustle. 23 did not think he could make that throw. Look at him. He just jogs. And then 3, oh, my God.
Great block downfield right
And then
there.
9's there to make the block. Wow. That's awesome.
All right, let's go to warchant.com. Let's see how they're doing.
Didn't they leave the Rivals Network?
Did they?
I don't know. I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Okay. Sorry, Brian.
Okay.
We know what happened with Ole Miss today. Just around the league, anything that changed some perceptions? I mean, kind of what was your thought from the big takeaway just SEC wide today?
Well, I tried to watch as much football as I could today. I was taken to an art exhibit for the early games. We can get to that in a bit. That was the second art exhibit I've ever been to in my life, probably the last if I have a choice. But I watched a good bit of that A&M Colorado game, and I know it was kind of like, I guess the argument, like within like your own head or whatever, not everyone's going on First Take arguing who's going to be the third best team in the SEC West. But looking at A&M today and the injury to Haynes King and how they looked offensively with Zach Calzado, like, it's Alabama, and doesn't it feel like, given the way everyone else has looked, it could literally be anyone's ball game as the second best team in the West, like Ole Miss included? I wouldn't necessarily pick Ole Miss as the second best team in the West.
Who would you
but
pick?
Like if
you
someone
did-
made a case, I wouldn't
so-
shoot it down, I guess.
If you didn't pick Ole Miss today, who would you pick?
Yeah, honestly, that's a better way to frame it. Honestly, because if you're talking about the second best team in the West, and the way you would have picked it before the season, it's A&M, and then you'd hear an argument for someone else. But you're exactly right, Neil. Like I don't know who I would pick. Like if it's not A&M, are you
with
really
that
putting
backup
a ton of
quarterback?
stock in
It's Ole
Auburn or
Miss.
LSU?
Right now, today,
It's Ole Miss today.
if I'm doing
I agree.
like I'm thinking about how I do this thing
The
in 10
ranking
thoughts
thing.
every week where I rank the SEC programs. And in the West, and I don't ever do it by East and West, but if I did do it East and West, it'd be Alabama. Ole Miss would be 2, Auburn would be 3, A&M would be 4. And then here's where I get crazy. Arkansas's 5.
Oh, well, hold on. Go through that again.
Alabama,
Okay.
Ole Miss.
You have Ole Miss over Georgia.
No, this is West.
Oh, just West. Sorry. Okay.
Alabama, Ole Miss, Auburn.
Okay.
Are you putting LSU 4?
No,
Are you-
today Arkansas was ahead of LSU. Yeah.
And so that's where I start. I mean, I put A&M 4 because they're so good on defense. And then I'm probably putting Arkansas 5, and I'm putting LSU 6.
In the West.
LSU and Mississippi State play in 2 weeks, and I got
Frankly, why are you putting LSU ahead of State right
I'm
now?
really-
They beat NC State today.
LSU's game at Mississippi State's not a gimme. I mean, it is not a blue game.
No.
It might not even be a red game.
No, it's like violet or something.
Yeah,
right
it might
now.
be a yellow game.
And for as boring as Alabama has made college football for the last 2.5 years, it is going to be kind of interesting to see what every other team does to kind of grapple between 2 through 7. Because there's a team that could, are you shocked if LSU ends up finishing 7th in the West from what you saw from State today?
No, not at all. No, I mean, because
Which Ed's already dead at that point anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter, but it is kind of crazy to think about.
here's the thing. Alabama has an identity. Ole Miss has an identity. It's kind of funky, but they have one. Arkansas tonight had an identity. They ran the football, and they played pretty good defense against Texas. Mississippi State's doing the leech thingy. That is their identity, as weird as it is. What's LSU's identity? We're psychopaths?
Yeah, because they're still trying to be the identity of the physical football team, and they're not physical at all. They get their ass kicked at the line of
Yeah,
scrimmage.
they're
right
not
now.
that good on defense.
UCLA ran for 210.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I would argue their identity is that they recruit well and they have a media contingent that will never say anything bad about them.
Well, they won't until it's bad, and then once it gets really bad, they'll pile on. That's the nobody ever gets out in front of it there.
I got talked into 10-2 preseason from the Tigers.
Well, there's not a chance in hell they go 10-2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point they'd have to go 9-1, which
They're
seems
not.
hard.
No. There's no way.
They're more 7-5 than they are anything else right now. And you got to win a game to get 7-5.
I mean, all right. Well, help me here. Let's
Yeah.
let's play LSU schedule for a minute. It's Saturday night at 11:00 at night.
Sure.
Brian, feel free to chime in. They're 1-1 after beating McNeese. Central Michigan.
It's a win.
Okay.
Come on, really?
At Mississippi State.
Beats the shit out of me.
Brian.
I don't really have a lean on either. I'd like to see what McElwain is injecting his players with that week at Central Michigan. I do think they will win that. State's a toss-up.
Okay.
At this point, yeah, I coin flip. I'd actually probably lean State
So
from
2-1-1.
based off the latest sample size.
Auburn in Baton Rouge.
Right now, that's a loss. But Auburn's played 2 freaking cupcakes. What do we do with that, though?
Well, Auburn.
I know they've looked good doing it, but
Okay,
what
I
do
I
we
think it
make
goes
of
back to
it?
Neil's thing. They have an identity at least.
I
They know
know-
what they are.
I know the transitive property doesn't work, but Auburn would have beaten McNeese worse than LSU did.
Sure.
All right, so call it a toss.
Yeah, whatever.
At Kentucky.
It's a loss.
Agreed. Brian.
Yeah, no qualms there. That's a loss.
Florida in Baton Rouge
It's
today.
a loss.
Loss.
At Ole Miss.
It's a loss today.
Lost today.
I mean, do I even have to talk about Alabama?
That's in a row?
Yes, that's what I've been doing this for months, and everybody ignores me. I've been saying this for months.
So even if you give them Central Michigan, they could be like 2-5 or 6.
Yeah, and then let's keep going. After Alabama, I think we all can agree. I think Arkansas at home,
I mean, even if they win.
and then ULMO, that's a win.
Okay.
And then Texas A&M.
That's 4 in a worst case.
I mean, we're not stretching that far. What did Louisville do today? Ginger asked a good question. I have no idea.
They played like Eastern Kentucky. I don't know.
Okay. They do okay.
I mean, I would hope. When is Ed fired in that scenario? Before they play Ole Miss?
In the scenario where he loses to Mississippi State, Auburn, Kentucky, and Florida, yeah, he doesn't make it to Oxford. Or he comes to Oxford, and that's the
Louisville beat Eastern Kentucky 30-3 today.
30-3. So see, Louisville's awesome. Everybody's good.
The Colonels.
Are you surprised you can even be the Colonels anymore?
Well, I mean
It kind of has a southern.
Does it?
To me,
okay.
Unless you're like the Colonel's chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel. At which point, that's okay.
I mean, every military operation has a colonel.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Is Kentucky or Florida second in the East, Brian?
Today I would lean Kentucky, but I'll obviously be completely transparent. I have not watched a lot of Florida, and by a lot, I mean I would probably say I could count on one hand how many plays I've seen from Florida so far. But man, if Kentucky gets decent quarterback play, like the rest of that roster is absolutely good enough to be second in the SEC East. So I'll just kind of be that guy and lean Kentucky today.
Louisiana Tech beat Southeastern Louisiana 45-42.
Well, they're awesome. 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, the whole transitive property in college football is awesome.
I heard they had a bunch of transfers that could have beaten anyone on any given day, Labor Day weekend, is what I was told.
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
Jacksonville State planted their flag at midfield.
Liberty beat Troy 21-13. Can we stop with the Liberty stuff? Can we please?
Is that it? We
That's
done?
it. I mean, can we stop?
You said transitive property.
ULL only beat Nichols 27-24.
So we saw today Texas sucks. So what else you want? I mean,
because Arkansas popped Texas.
Who's good?
I mean, the truth is, the reason we all love college football
because it's dumb
is because it's a dumb sport.
Anybody on any day, sure.
I mean, it really.
Why not?
It's predicting kids, and it's truly why we like it. Yet at the end of the day, it's the same damn 4 teams make the playoffs every year.
Because of Matt Corral, today nationally, Ole Miss versus fill in the blank. I mean, how many schools could they play where you go, yeah, that's a definite L? Like 2?
A definite L?
Yeah, and maybe 1. And that's saying you don't think they can beat Alabama.
Yeah, I would have said 3 right before today, but you saw what Oregon did.
I mean, if Oregon can do it, Ole Miss
Columbus.
can. Hell, I mean, just think if Matt Corral was with the Ducks.
Ginger's
That'd be
in
a
love with
sack of
Kentucky's
hell.
quarterback.
Speaking of Matt Corral, I was just curious. Like, I know you guys probably did watch
she
the
not
game.
free-
Right? Is there any question at this point that John Rice Plumlee probably goes in if they need some sort of crucial drive and Corral twists an ankle? Like that was the takeaway.
I still contend I'm exactly right, and Plumlee's the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he gave that away, right? With the whole, I know you guys got to talk to him like a week or 2 before the season. He was like, yeah, I've been meeting with the quarterbacks in the morning, receivers midday, and backup quarterbacks in the afternoon, which is a little different than the way it was described, I would say, spring-wise, right?
I'll tell you this, Brian. I don't know what Lane Kiffin's agenda is tomorrow, like how the day is lined out. But somewhere in the, hey, let's talk transfer portal quarterbacks for next year is now on the
to-do list.
It's on the things to do tomorrow.
I got floated a couple ideas, and it was pretty much just any transfer quarterback would be available. And, Neil, you would know this a hell of a lot better than I would. What about the whole Miles Brennan thing? Does that make any sense at all if you're talking about 2022?
Ooh. I don't know. I'd have to know his health situation first and foremost.
Fair enough.
But, yeah. I mean, look, anybody who can play would have to be on the list right now. Because Matt's leaving, and you got to have a replacement for him, and I don't think that replacement is necessarily on campus today.
Ginger, are you not freaked out by the way he eats the banana with the skin still on, like upside down? I mean, it's
she doesn't seem to be.
It's a little psychopathic. It's psychopathic. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I'm all over the place. It's become a quarterback league the same as the NFL has. So it gives you a shot. That's it.
Well, there's no doubt.
I mean, it's why we're talking about Kentucky. I get they're really good at defense and doing everything else, but it's because Levis is a quarterback.
They have everything else in place.
I say that, and however, Arkansas beat Texas by scoring 40
Yeah, but
today
Texas
with
is
KJ
Texas
Jefferson
is
doing
soft.
nothing.
Like Texas has always been soft. Texas has been soft for years.
All hat and no cattle.
And Arkansas did what they want to do, which is, hey, we're going to line up and run it.
Mm-hmm.
Our quarterback can run. We've got a couple of backs that are really good, and we're going to punish you. And Texas laid down. You still there, Brian, or we lose you?
No, I'm still there. Watching Arkansas today too. Like one of the things that made me think wasn't the whole like losing KJ Jefferson thing in hindsight probably just, I guess, adding to the get rid of Luke fire, because in all actuality that was never a difference maker in terms of the trajectory of Ole Miss's program. I mean, Weldon. I was talking to Weldon on Sunday's podcast or whenever it was we recorded, and he was like, "Yeah, there's a reason we didn't lose sleep over that kid. Like he's been." I would say aggressively average so far. I haven't watched a ton of Arkansas, but I have not been overly impressed with KJ Jefferson so far.
He does not fit Ole Miss's system at all. I mean,
No, but he's a much better John Rice Plumlee as a running quarterback.
Yeah,
It's also fair.
I mean, I don't, I don't know. I don't fault anybody for not taking KJ Jefferson as their quarterback.
No.
I give Sam Pittman and that group a lot of credit. Kendall Briles and Sam Pittman a lot of credit for basically Kendall Briles going, this is not what I like to do, but this is all we can do, so let's try to do it well.
You got to give Briles credit. I mean, he does. He just fits it in and goes, I hate this. But
he'd love to throw it 50 times a game, but he knows with Jefferson that's a recipe for losing to Rice.
But at Baylor, he did a good job of switching it up. And one year, Baylor ran for like 2,000 and something yards because that's what the skill set had. I mean, Briles, he's kind of one tier lower Kiffin a little bit on, hey, we'll just kind of find the playmaker in the matchup and we'll do the best we can with it.
And actual quality of the win aside, that's a massive win for that staff, right? I mean, they really made a lot of hay off of 3.5 games last year in that weird season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge win for Sam Pittman and, I guess, validation or what's left of what needed to be validated.
We're doing schedules, right? They're 2-0. They get Georgia Southern Saturday. That's a win. 3-0. All of a sudden, the Texas A&M game is at least interesting. They'll lose at Georgia. I think they lose at Ole Miss. They get Auburn at home. They get Pine Bluff at home. That's a win. So we got them at 1, 2, 3, 4 wins for sure. They get Mississippi State at home, and I think they're going to beat them. I think they could beat LSU. They'll lose at Alabama, and then they could beat Missouri. Suddenly, Arkansas could get to 7 wins.
And to add on to your point, I don't know if this has changed, but if that game is still in Arlington with the A&M game, isn't that always early in the morning too? Like that always produces a very odd result.
It's 11 a.m.
Talent aside.
Yeah, it's 11 a.m. at Jerry World, and the entire Arkansas campus, ask me how I know, drives to Dallas, and they all get hotels and Airbnbs, and it's their big party weekend, and they all go to the game because the game is indoors and you can drink beer. Ask me again how I know these things. They all go, and so now, they'll be pardon my language. They'll be 3-0. They'll be geeked up. That's a free shot for them against A&M.
Yeah. Crazy world.
I mean,
I know. No.
I'm just being honest. I mean, they're in a position where they go to Arlington and go, hey, why not? Let's see what happens. And if they happen to win that game, they're 4-0. They can just roll over at Georgia and Ole Miss. Don't worry about it. And get ready for Auburn at home.
Mm-hmm.
Still have Pine Bluff. Still have Missouri. Still have LSU on the schedule.
Yeah.
It was a big win for them today.
Yeah.
I mean, for them, the path to 6 wins had to include Texas. Well, they got it. And now they look around the rest of the division and go, I mean, if you're Arkansas, other than Alabama and Ole Miss, is there anybody you look at and go, we can't beat them?
No, you got a shot. Whether run the football, sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have an identity. You can run, control clock, and Odom's pretty good on defense.
Yeah. Any final thought, Brian?
What was that? I lost you there for a second.
I said any final thoughts before we let you go? Anything we didn't cover?
No, not a whole lot. I know there wasn't a whole lot to be made from this game. Did you guys make anything from the fact that I know Orlando Umana kind of had an injury through camp, played the first game? Did you guys make anything of him not playing at all tonight? I know Kiffin's injury policy is weird, but like that was one of the two solid notes I had written down that were legible on this notepad I'm looking at.
I didn't. My thought was that the odds are overwhelming that he had they just had decided that 2 games in 5 days was not a good idea coming off the surgery that he had to have, and that they just said, hey, let's just be cool.
Fair way to look at it. The only other note I had is technically, and I'm not a huge numbers guy, but if you're looking at completion percentage on this football team, the overall completion percentage is Kincaid Dent, who happened to go to Jackson Academy, and he is 2 for 2 on the year, and I don't think you can get better than 100%. So,
no, I mean, from a completion percentage standpoint, he's head and shoulders above Corral right now. Which
I would agree with that, and he played in the toughest high school league in America, so it's worth thinking about. Do we have a QB controversy on our hands?
I don't know if you noticed this, but did you see how well he handed the ball off? Did you notice his towel placement and that kind of thing? I mean, it was elite.
Well, they teach you to respect those kind of things at Jackson Academy and the MIS. I mean, you can't go across the Pearl River and go to Jackson Prep and have your towel out of place. It's not really just how that league works.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to talk about. Hopefully, you'll write about that this week on Rippy Writes and dive into the quarterback controversy that's emerging in Oxford.
Absolutely will, and give full credit to the football factory that is Jackson Academy.
All right, Brian.
Enjoy your night, bud.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Game day heading to Happy Valley next week for Auburn and Penn State.
Oh, I'm in on that game.
You all good?
So the games next week, Alabama is at Florida.
Yep.
Georgia Southern at Arkansas. Auburn at Penn State. Georgia plays host to South Carolina. Chattanooga goes to Kentucky. Central Michigan goes to LSU. Tulane goes to Ole Miss. Mississippi State goes to Memphis. Southeast Missouri plays Missouri in the Battle of Missouris. Tennessee Tech goes to Tennessee. New Mexico goes to Texas A&M. And Vanderbilt, which just tied Colorado State, plays host to the Stanford Cardinal.
They play Stanford next week. Stanford, who is beating SC 14-10 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. We probably have that on somewhere if you'd like to do that.
Look, man, I only have 2 TVs.
What are we watching here?
Vanderbilt.
I mean,
What do you
hold
want?
on. Turn this one. I mean, I like the game, but we'll come back.
You don't like the Holy War?
I just want to see the end of the first half of the SC Stanford game.
You want chaos. That's your thing.
I want Stanford to win a football game.
Where would I find?
Again, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's Fox, maybe? Pac-12 Network? I mean, hell,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think that's on here.
Can we seriously not watch SC? And
I'll find SC on this TV. How about that?
okay.
Someone find out what channel that's on.
Yeah,
for me.
help.
Just help me, because I feel like I'm just babysitting right now. You know, like you have so many things you want.
If we had a third TV, I'd feel better.
There it is.
There it
Stanford
is.
at USC.
It was on Fox.
Will Burns said Fox.
So we only have 16 seconds left, then we'll go back.
Okay.
Oh, good.
14-10.
Yeah, Jeffrey's bet is not looking great right now. Vanderbilt already 7 points in the second half. I guess did somebody lose where Ole Miss moves up a spot or two into the teens?
I'm gonna put in my poll. I'm gonna put Ole Miss like around 10.
Are you?
Yeah. Because on the list of teams that suck, they don't suck. I don't know how good they are, but they don't suck.
Oh, Stanford's trying to add.
Oh, he got a foot in.
Did he get a foot in?
Yeah, he got a foot in. Touchdown.
Did he?
Hell yeah, he got a foot in.
Okay. Washington sucks. Michigan 31-10 over the Huskies today.
Iowa's top 6. They went to Iowa State and won.
They did.
They beat Indiana.
They did.
They look damn good doing it.
They're fine.
And their uniforms are fantastic.
In a very NFL sense, They look like an NFL uniform.
Well, NFL uniforms are amazing.
Sure.
Hell, that's part of what makes the NFL good. The uniforms are good.
I mean, Virginia Tech won today.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin win today.
I think so, yeah.
Did they play? The Chanticleers look like shit, but they won. UCLA, obviously. Texas. Ole Miss probably moves up one spot pending this game. I would assume Texas falls farther than 20.
Texas falls out.
I bet.
How do you keep Texas
I'm not
in?
arguing.
Okay, but if Texas is in, Arkansas is in? How would you put Texas in the top 25 and not Arkansas in the top 25?
I don't know. Maybe they put Arkansas in too. And then if SC loses, they probably fall below 20 as well. So Ole Miss could get to 19 or 18 is my guess, barring this.
See, this is the people that I hate that do the poll that way.
Well, that's the majority of them. Because they're going to look at Ole Miss and go, they beat an FCS team, so we're not going to jump them anywhere.
People are accusing you of drinking, and I don't think you are.
Not even a little bit.
It's amazing.
I need more water. That's it.
I got a bottle. You want a bottle? There you go.
See, I caught it sober.
That was a good catch. I tossed it where it wouldn't land on the equipment. I'm looking for there he goes. All right, if you want to call the number, we have giveaways, but you got to earn them. I mean, it's got to be, you got to be good.
No, never mind. That's Arizona, not Arizona State, that is losing big tonight. San Diego State all over Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm on no medication or anything. I mean, I am stone sober. I did not sleep well, but I'm okay. I'm hanging in well tonight.
All right, here we go. Hey, who do we? Excuse me. Who do we have?
Wasn't no 20-13, was it, Chase?
I assumed that was going to come tonight. I had a hunch that I would hear from you, potentially over that. I told you I took the points and was just hoping for a very close game. I was willing to eat that one if I wanted to. You get to make fun of me, and then if Grind calls in, I get to make fun of him because of what Mississippi State did in NC State. That's the way tonight goes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
That game was proof that uniforms matter because those Navy uniforms looked absolutely terrible. They were really, really bad.
Air Force for sure won the battle of the special uniform today. There was no doubt about that.
The Marine Corps dress blues uniform, which is what that Navy's uniform was modeled after, is an awesome looking like military uniform, but it did not translate to a football uniform.
And I tell you what, it even looked better on pictures than it did in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
For whatever reason, they had it like just graphically in pictures. It was okay.
The lighting. It was the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. Like, I mean, they, for 2 seasons now and 2 Air Force games, like, they just look absolutely terrible, especially on offense. I mean, it was, I don't know if you guys probably didn't really watch any of it.
I did not watch it. I saw some highlights, but sorry.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything on offense. So, but the first plane ride with Stella was a success.
Good.
It didn't have any problems there. We got a hottie toddy in the Houston airport. She was wearing her Ole Miss dress, so that was fun.
That's good.
Can Air Force knock off Utah State in the fight in John Hartwell's next week? Is that winnable?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're going to. So I actually looked this up a couple of weeks ago. FPI has Air Force as a more than, I think, 8% chance to win in like 7 or 8 of their games. The only ones they don't is, I think, Army and Boise.
Okay. And then obviously San Diego State looks pretty good tonight.
Yeah, San Diego State has always has been ever since. Is Rocky Long still there?
I have no idea. No clue.
Ever since he came back there, they've always been a thorn in our side. The one Mountain West Conference championship game we made it to, we lost to them actually. But so What do you guys make of the penalties? And I know you talked about it a little bit on the pregame show, but I was sitting here with my sister and her boyfriend, so I was kind of listening and not listening.
They were focused penalties for the most part, which Neil made a good point. I mean, second game in 5 days, probably not going to hold them to the fire over that too much. But with it being 2 games in a row, I do think there's some inefficient yards lost in this that has to be cleaned up because you're about some special teams penalties. I mean, I think that's 3 or 4 penalties on special teams, and that just can't happen. Those are drive killers before drives start. They lengthen too many drives for the opponent with dumb penalties. They did it against Louisville and now against Austin Peay. There are certain penalties and certain types that I do actually think is an issue and has to be fixed, frankly, pronto, because Tulane can even take advantage of that. The pass interferences, to me, were not those penalties. I thought Miles Battle had really good positioning on his. I thought the other one was pretty ticky-tack, even though it was more of a penalty than that one was. It's the special team stuff, the personal foul, the face mask that was called. It's that just crap yardage you're giving the opponent that I think is a problem if they keep that up.
Yeah, agreed. Do you pay attention at all to the fact that they gave up over 400 yards of offense?
Not even a little bit.
No, not even a little
bit. They
bit.
dominated the first half and then pulled the first team off pretty quickly in the second half defensively. So, no, not even a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because we had gotten to the pool at the club by the time the Ole Miss game started, so I really didn't catch much of it. I just saw stats in the third quarter, and when I saw that, I was kind of like, whoa. So, all right. Well, I am a Utah push or cover away from pick'em victory. So
you need some help.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I know, man. That
BYU's bringing the lumber.
Yeah, they are. They're not messing around for sure.
They're also winning the uniform debate. That looks much. BYU's got the better suit here.
No, they figured out uniforms. Because when you have royal blue and white, that's how you do
Kentucky it. Should figure it out. They should look at BYU and go, you don't see BYU wearing the chrome helmet.
That's
That's
how you incorporate those two colors right there.
BYU is what Kentucky should be from a uniform standpoint.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, thanks, Jarrett. Appreciate you.
All right. See ya.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, guys, it's Vibin' Reb.
Hey, Vibin'.
So I got a question for y'all. Who's more back? Is it the Noles, the Vols, or the Horns?
Ooh, who's more back? It's a great question. And for this, Vibin', you're going to win an award, a prize. So while we think about this.
Those.
Okay.
Vibin', this is from the College Corner. It's an official Ole Miss
Nike
Vapor 24-1 Nike football. If you'll do me a favor, Vibin',
in whatever way you would like, whether it be email or some social media channel,
address.
Send Neil an address.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay.
That's by the College Corner, by the way, collegecornerstore.com. 2 locations in Jackson, but you can also get online, collegecornerstore.com. Best source of Rebel gear in Central Mississippi.
All right, so Tennessee has beaten Bowling Green and now lost to Pitt. Florida State is 0-2. We gave them a lot of credit for that overtime loss to Notre Dame, but now we realize Notre Dame sucks too. And then Texas did beat ULL, although ULL barely beat Nichols today.
That's correct.
Oh, God.
Who's more back? Texas?
It's still
Florida State,
it's Tennessee.
Why?
They at least had a backup quarterback.
I think, guys, there is an option D, and you could just say none of the above.
No. You said we had to pick one. That's a cop out. No. You got to say a team. They might win that game with Milton healthy today. Well, they're still not good, but
okay. It pains me to say this, but I think you're right. Although I will throw out
it might be Texas
of the teams. Okay, of the teams that they've lost to, Florida State clearly sucks. They're the most not back.
Sure.
Who would win, Arkansas or Pitt?
I think Arkansas would beat Pitt.
So Texas is the most back, which says
But they got beat by 20.
They got smoked. That's a good point.
I mean, yeah, I think it's Tennessee.
Presley says you're chippy tonight.
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm an old man and I'm tired.
And apparently he's drunk to some people.
He's not drunk.
Stone sober.
If anybody here is drunk, it's not him. I'm working on it.
Speaking of, Neil, did the kids get to storm the field tonight?
They did storm. I don't think they made it to the end.
They say highly doubt they were still there in the fourth quarter.
They both went to the game. I know for a fact that neither made it to the end. It was apparently Fayetteville was like an absolute sauna today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm going to guess that both of my girls were at fraternity parties earlier in the day.
Look at the doors.
Where there was alcohol involved.
Touchdown Vanderbilt.
No, Chase, don't tell me that. I bet Colorado State in the second half -3.
Well,
Damn it.
Assuming Vanderbilt can kick, which hell of an if. 21-14 here in the second doors.
Here they go.
God.
Here they go. Vanderbilt's
Why?
back.
I mean, I was willing to eat the loss because I was not going to bet on Vanderbilt. But, I mean, Colorado State is god-awful. Weren't they decent up here? Like, Mike Bobo had them competitive.
I mean,
Right? Wasn't it Bobo?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, was McElwain there too?
Yeah.
McElwain was there.
McElwain was going to go
he
to
was at Colorado. He was at Colorado.
No, he was at Colorado State because he was going to take the.
Yeah, he won like 10 games at Colorado, I thought.
Well, that was when he was going to take the Ole Miss gig, right?
Was McElwain at Colorado State or Colorado? He was
Colorado
at Colorado State.
Colorado. Because I remember he won like Pac-12 Coach of the Year.
No, that was Mike McIntyre.
You're thinking
That was
about Mike
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Jim McElwain was at Colorado State, and he was going to be the coach at Ole Miss when Hugh left for Florida.
Yeah, and he had a moral dilemma. Well, that's probably not the right word. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it was morality. They weren't going to let him tweet.
That was a rule.
They were going to take his Twitter from him.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Neil, am I crazy for and look, I'm diehard Ole Miss, obviously, and all my friends are probably going to give me crap for this, but I know they've played two very, very, to me,
We lost Vibin.
It's trying to bring him back.
There he goes. Are you back?
Hey, y'all got me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Start that again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, start that again.
Okay, I was saying that I know Auburn has played two Group of 5 teams, but they look very, very efficient on offense, and they look pretty solid. I mean, am I crazy for thinking they could be the second-best team in the West?
No, I don't think you're crazy. In fact, if you
it's at least an argument.
If you told me it wasn't Ole Miss, I would tell you it was Auburn.
Yeah, because I think it's obviously Bama. I think it's Auburn or Ole Miss, too. And then I think you could go Texas and A&M for 3 and 4. That's kind of a toss-up. And then I think LSU's 6, and I think State's going to be last.
So I get there's more nuance here, but Neil, who's been riding the Aggies harder than anybody I know, they win a Power 5 road game today, and Neil drops them from 2 to 4 in the West.
The eye test matters, and I know what I saw.
Okay.
That looked like an anemic team on offense.
I mean, if the quarterback's out, and he probably is,
then they're done.
This other quarterback,
relative to what they expect.
Yeah, he was in a boot. So if you told me in 2 weeks, who am I betting on? Am I betting on Arkansas or Texas A&M in 2 weeks in Arlington? Right now, I'm probably betting on Arkansas.
By the way, if Vandy wins today, they're going to go 2-10 because they're going to beat UConn.
Yeah.
I told Neil this earlier. UConn has been outscored 94-0 against FBS teams, and they also lost to an FCS team.
God. I wonder if they just, I don't know, because weren't they going to have like a revolt against the coach or something if he didn't resign immediately?
Yeah,
we got the interim here now.
And he did, and they still suck.
And was the interim the guy in the video on Twitter where he like tried to get them to put their arms in and like none of them did it? Or was that the head coach? Have y'all seen that video?
No, you have paid much more attention to UConn than I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was really funny. He like tried to get him fired up on the sidelines and no one like broke it down with him.
Yeah, that was Edsel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Hey, send me your address.
All right, will do. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Larry Joe believing in me. He says Neil in high school scored more than Texas A&M.
This is kind of funny.
Hang on, caller. 1 second.
Yeah, real quick.
Hold on.
Lane tonight, he was asked what went into rotating the quarterback play in the fourth quarter. Kiffin, we made a big thing about fans staying for the fourth quarter. Plumlee had not practiced at quarterback all week. He was trying to get receiver down. We figured fans would stay longer if Plumlee had the ball. So that's why you saw us basically giving the ball at receiver then at quarterback. Libby said, he hasn't practiced these plays. I said, he'll be fine. We got to keep the crowd around. It was cool to see him have success. Lane Kiffin, ladies and gentlemen.
That's pretty funny. Hey, who do we have?
Hey guys, it's Lee.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, talked 2 nights ago, and Texas A&M was second best team in the West. I don't think that's true anymore, huh?
It's an argument, for sure.
I'm just kidding you. They look terrible today, and I love to see it. But I was born and raised in Florida. I went to school in Ole Miss, and I really enjoy your distaste for Florida State, and it was great to see that loss tonight. I don't think there's a team out there that we've seen fall as hard as them in the last decade or two. You agree?
Florida State?
Ooh, Nebraska says hi, but I think that's about right.
Yeah, but Nebraska was late 80s, weren't they? I mean, they were.
Their last title was in 97.
Nebraska?
Yeah, they tied with Michigan for the title in 97.
Oh, man, I just feel like the Florida State in the early 2000s, it's unbelievable what's happened to that program.
Tallahassee's such a dump of a town. It's such a – the place is like – you ever spent any time in Tallahassee at Florida State?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Northwest Florida, and I'll tell you, growing up, everyone was a Florida State or a Florida fan. In my town in Northwest Florida, Panama City, Florida, very few Alabama fans, very few Auburn fans, very few Miami fans. And now across the Northwest Florida Panhandle, it's 80 to 90% Alabama. There's no more Florida State. There's no more Florida. It's obviously bandwagon. But it is amazing to see, in some ways, the premier school in Florida, used to be, struggle year after year. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I hate it. Really sucks. It makes me sad.
I don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, great show. Rebels look great. Second best team in the West. I think I heard you both say. Shea seems a little fired up tonight. I'm glad to see him taking the hot takes. But good show.
Right.
Rebs, second best in the West. Is that what I hear from both of you?
Yeah, at this point.
I mean, if we're doing power rankings, that's where I would put them today. Now, here's the deal. Auburn can steal that next week. I want to see Auburn-Penn State next week. I want to see what that looks like.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, but
and Ole Miss has to. Hey, listen, Ole Miss has to play better. Ole Miss has to play better against Tulane.
Yeah, they do, but the ceiling for Ole Miss is so high, right? I mean, the ceiling in the floor discussion, right?
Sure.
The ceiling for Ole Miss is pretty goddamn high, and there is a floor, but it's much higher than it was last year with a very below average defense, right? The defense has come along. So, anyway,
okay.
Enjoy the show, guys. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Lane also said that he expects Springer and Umana to be fine next week.
They didn't play because they knew they were going to win.
Yes.
Hey, who do we have?
What's going on, guys? Tommy from Oxford.
Hey, Tommy.
Oh, man. What y'all guys up to?
Doing a show.
You drunk yet, Chase?
I might be overhydrated, but that's about all I can say for myself at the moment.
You don't look drunk to me. I don't know why they say that, but
yeah. Well, I get a little tired. My eye starts wandering a little bit. Just ask Jay, so it's okay. Where you at?
Lordstown, Ohio.
Where is that?
Oh God.
In the middle of nowhere, I guess. Huh?
It is on 80. Right as you're coming out of Pennsylvania into Ohio on Interstate 80.
On that side, okay.
It's just right there at the Pennsylvania line. It's right here. Headed to Neil's favorite state and then going on to Omaha.
Oh, you're going to stop in Iowa? Listen, if you find a white Iowa jersey, one of the authentic ones, grab that for me. I'll pay you back.
Dude, I seen your tweet the other day. Man, Fanatics ain't got done And eBay ain't got nothing.
I can't find them.
Why is there a run on white Iowa
You
jerseys?
can't find them. They don't.
Because nobody wants them?
I want one. You can find a black Iowa jersey.
How was that a thing?
I don't know. You can find a black.
Have you called like their bookstore or something at the university?
I'm thinking about just calling the damn football program myself and asking for one.
I even found.
Hey, tell them you're a Heisman voter.
How many times have they worn that?
The white jersey, they wear it on the road every time.
I mean, in all seriousness, you probably could call somebody and be like, hey, I'm a Heisman voter.
I'm a
I want
Heisman
jersey.
voter, and I'm thinking about voting for your quarterback, but only if you send me a white jersey.
Hey, I mean.
No, I said I found the gold one, and I barely ever even.
They have a gold jersey?
I've never seen them. I've never seen them wear a gold jersey.
He doesn't want that.
I know. But I've seen a gold one. I didn't see a white one.
Well, that is.
But I'll look. I'll look tomorrow when I'm in Iowa.
Okay, yeah, please do. Because we might win the whole damn thing, Iowa. It might be Iowa and Ole Miss in a college football playoff game.
I'm a Matt Campbell fan, and I picked Iowa today because they're that good.
They are good, actually. No jokes. All jokes aside, Iowa's a legitimately good team.
They are. They're,
if you were to make
nosed, man. They hit it hard.
If you were to make a team of top 10, a list of top 10 teams, and I'm going to do this tomorrow, and the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think I'm going to put Ole Miss around number 10. If you're just basing it on what you've seen so far this season and not all the preconceived notions and all that crap, just what you've watched, Iowa's in that conversation.
I'm doing some Googling, and HawkeyeFanshop.com, it looks like I can buy a white jersey right now if I want to.
Really? Send me the link.
Okay.
I'm about to buy it.
Is this the real one, or am I on like some?
I don't know. Send me the link.
Okay, it's $119.
That's nothing.
Okay.
Something that gorgeous is.
You can even get it customized.
Really?
Look at it. I don't know. Maybe
okay.
It's wrong, but
Awesome.
I'm just telling you.
It might not be the one they had on today, though.
What they had on today it was hot.
That was nice.
Really
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Oh, that's what I want right there.
Is that it?
It's very similar to what they wore today.
Okay, so it's not exactly, but
it's very close.
Okay,
that's a great look.
Their retro baseball jerseys kind of neat.
I like their baseball cap, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah, just a black hat with an eye on it, which is kind of me. I like basic.
So what'd you think?
Penalties got to get cleaned up just a little bit. I don't know how you can have a holding penalty on when you're not even going to return the ball. Special teams just got to get cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, they got to clean up. But I'm telling you, man, second game in 5 days, you knew it would be sloppy. And as soon as
it looked like they really had one practice this week, like it was. It looked like they really had one decent practice this week.
As soon as it's over, by the way, and when it's 23-0 at that point, I say this all the time and people get mad at me, and I get it because I get mad at myself for saying it, but they are humans. You do lose your intensity. You can't – the coaches might be yelling at you that you have to take these guys seriously, but you can see the scoreboard. And you do drop a notch.
You're looking at this poor guy running around trying to do all he can do to help his team out, and you're like, man, I really just don't want to hit that guy that damn hard.
Yeah, you just run out of patience. Hey, thanks for the call, Tommy. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Y'all have a good one.
All right, bye.
What's the obnoxious level if we get like an Iowa Ole Miss Peach Bowl?
Oh, I'd be all in. It'd be fun.
Like some access bowl where they end up here together.
How fun would that be?
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Luke in Boston.
Hey, Luke, what's up?
Oh, just in Boston, dealing with these 30-degree weather swings every day.
Is it cold there today?
It's like it jumps from like low 50s to low 80s every day.
That's pretty nice, though, Luke. 50s to 80s. It's hard to argue with that.
Oh no, it's great. It's just when you're walking to work in the morning, you have to make that choice of, am I good now or am I good coming home?
Layers. All about the layers.
Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah. So I have two questions. One is, why does Jimbo get such a pass for Florida State being so bad now, when it was clear at the end of his tenure there they were terrible? And then two is, outside of Iowa, is there another second place team that in the other conferences that Ole Miss you don't look at and say, I think they're better?
Ooh.
But here's the deal. I mean, I would still have Ole Miss third in the SEC
Behind
at
Georgia.
best because of Georgia.
Yeah. Is Ole Miss the best? Would you put Ole Miss number 3 in the SEC right now?
Well, they're at least in the argument. I mean, I can't completely say they're 100% better than Florida.
No, of course not.
I can't 100% say they're better than A&M, and I think Auburn is to be determined, but they've got an incomplete next to their name right now.
Agreed.
I just don't know what to make of them, but I think that's the list at the moment. I mean, I think those are the only teams in that tier right now that I would even consider. But, I mean, I look around. I mean, the question is,
the ACC and
look, here's the thing.
The Big Ten and all them,
in the ACC, yes. I mean, because by God, everybody's terrible.
That league sucks.
Yeah, other than Clemson, I'm out. Frankly, from a depth to 3, it might be the Pac-12. You've got UCLA, you've got SC, and you got Oregon. Pretty good 1, 2, 3 there in whatever order you want to do that right now. I mean, Oregon, that was a big win. I mean, look, LSU we don't think is good, but the way UCLA bodied them,
sure, of course,
at least puts this conversation into whatever it is. And I mean, look, SC can end this whole conversation tonight by losing to Stanford because they currently are. But at the same time, I think the Pac-12 might be the closest from a 1, 2, 3 standpoint. I guess the Big Ten is weird right now with Ohio State losing today because it's a 1-game blip, but we're only 2 weeks into the season, and that's half your game. So I don't know what to make of the Big Ten right now after Ohio State slip up. I just don't know. I'm not really sure how to categorize that league at the moment. And the Big 12 has no depth.
No.
They're terrible.
Yeah, Big 12 sucks. Thanks for the call, Luke.
Yep.
That baseball jersey's sharp I sent you.
I'll have to look.
You hadn't looked at it?
Not yet. I'm working.
You're a little busy.
Hey, who do we have?
This is Bud.
Hey, Bud.
Hey.
What's up?
Now, what am I speaking to?
This is Neil and Chase.
Doesn't sound like Neil.
What have you had tonight? Type and quantity.
Yeah, I want some of it.
No, you guys don't sound like yourselves.
I promise you.
You don't sound like yourself either.
But I promise you it's us.
No, I don't think so. Just got married tonight.
Did you?
All right, wait a minute. You got married tonight and you're talking to us?
That's right. She's asleep.
At least you're honest, bud.
Neil has a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, I got so many questions, but, I mean, whatever.
Where'd you get married?
Church.
Town.
Iuka. I already said Buff from Iuka.
Well, that didn't mean you got married in Iuka.
Actually, Bud, you did not say Bud from Iuka. You just said this is Bud. You said Bud. That's all you said.
Thought it was a given.
So she's asleep?
Asleep, done for. Yep.
What's 11:45? Where you headed on a honeymoon?
Honeymoon. We got to work Monday.
Okay.
Is this first marriage?
Yes, for both of us.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. A lot of people at our age, a lot of people ask that. Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. What are your ages, if you don't mind me asking?
36 and 34.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations, first of all.
A lot of mystery to this. I'm going to be honest with you. Totally honest.
Yeah, I mean, I got questions at 11:45 when you're calling us on your first wedding night.
I didn't expect to be the only one awake this time of night.
What time was the wedding?
Chase is going to do math. What time was it? So the wedding was at 6. Was there a reception?
There was a reception, yeah.
Was there alcohol at the reception?
A little, yeah.
Okay. So what time did the reception end?
Oh, I'm going to say about 10:15, 10:30.
Okay, Bud. All right,
Excuse me?
So the reception ended at 10:15, 10:30.
That's right.
Are you still in the same? Are you still in the
Yeah,
same?
We're still together. I'm looking at her right
No.
now.
That's not what I'm asking. So you left the reception and went to wherever you're staying for the evening, correct?
Neil, we are at home.
Okay, so you went home.
Chase, what are you doing?
Chase is bothered by this line of questioning.
No, I'm good. I'm
He's not as bothered by it as I am. Where are we going here, guys? A lot of confusion. Going to be totally honest. A lot of confusion. Both of us had not dated around a lot. Big Rebel fans.
Okay, that's fine.
But still, to this point, a lot of confusion. I feel like it's still early in the night, but I don't think she thinks so. I don't know. I wish I had somebody that I could ask what to do next.
We're right here.
Yeah, it's an awkward time of the night. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No.
How long have you been watching us?
Yeah, it's well done.
Turned you guys on about 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
Something like
So
that.
let's go back to where we left at 10:15, 10:30. How long did it take you to get home?
How long what?
How long did it take you to get from the reception to home?
About 20 minutes.
Okay, so that puts you at about 10:50. You've been watching us for 30 minutes. That gives you, there's like a 20. There's a 25 minute. There's like a 25-minute window in there that your time is unaccounted for. Things go well during that 25 minutes?
Well, there was a shower. There was a change of clothes.
Okay.
How
many people were in the shower?
Well, I don't know how many was in there with her. It was just me when I took one.
Okay.
Chase, is something wrong?
No, I'm here. I'm hanging out. I'm good.
You look.
I'm good. I'm just sitting.
It's I gotta be honest.
Did she go to sleep happy, or did she go to sleep somewhat disappointed, or?
No idea.
Okay.
You know, this is the first time I've ever seen her asleep.
Wait. Hold up. Time out. Slow down. Let's rewind. Back up. This is the first time you've ever seen her asleep?
Oh yeah, definitely. What the hell?
You've never seen your wife asleep before?
She's been my wife about 45 minutes, Neil.
Okay. When she was your fiance, did you ever see her asleep?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
People take naps.
Yeah, I mean, I sleep in the car sometimes. I mean, I used to sleep in the carpool line.
I understand. We don't have children.
Well, that's okay. I mean, before I had children, I would take a nap occasionally. I mean, I just got tired. You took a nap. She's never taken a nap. She never fell asleep on the sofa watching a movie.
Did you have a first dance tonight? What was the song?
First dance, yes, we did.
What was the song?
Let me just hope.
Okay. Sit down meal, buffet. What are we doing?
Yeah. Classic Southern sit-down meal, meat and three.
Okay.
How long have y'all dated? Before
3
you
years.
got married? 3 years.
Okay. What was the main protein in your meal?
Is that another way of saying meat?
Not necessarily.
Yes. But it could be.
It could be two tofu or something like that. But I mean,
Yeah,
what was the protein? Was it steak or shrimp or chicken or?
Yeah, we don't.
Was there a
There's
choice?
no tofu in Iuka.
That's a good point.
So it was tenderloin, beef tenderloin.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, all good. I was just curious.
So since I couldn't spend the duration of my wedding night, with her, I spent it with you guys.
We're flattered. We appreciate it.
I mean,
yeah. I can tell by the look on your faces.
I think we just both have questions that we're. I think we have.
You caught us a little off guard.
Yeah, I think we have concerns and questions, but we wish.
I mean,
we wish you both nothing but the very best.
As a 36-year-old, I was caught a little off guard too. I don't want to get too graphic, but I've heard other guys call into your show, engaged, newly wedded, whatever, what have you. But I don't think so fresh.
You don't think the callers were fresh, or I'm confused.
Yeah, maybe the marriage. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
His experience.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Maybe not so fresh. Hold on a second. Let me check on her. Yep, still asleep.
Deep sleeper, at least.
Yeah.
Deep sleep.
Is she like right there asleep?
No.
Is there any chance she'd wake up?
I'm standing at the outdoor TV watching you guys. She's asleep on the couch inside, so looking through the.
So there's no chance she would wake up and talk to us.
No.
Okay.
No.
Why didn't you tell her to go into bed? Why is she asleep on the couch?
Well, Chase, I mean, how graphic do we need to get?
I mean,
we're
not controlled by the FCC. That would be
so she's asleep on your couch right now?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct. Tons of confusion tonight. I'm going to be totally honest with you. All of my life, Chase, you're about my age. I think I'm 36.
I'm 37.
I think you remember this ago. Sang the song, maybe rap the song, thong song.
Yeah,
I was
by Cisco.
I was always under the impression that the skinny part went in the back.
I didn't hang up.
I really hate we lost him right there.
I did not hang up.
No, Neil was not touching a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on before you take another call.
Okay.
We get a lot of pranks. Believability 1 through 10, 10 being the highest on that one.
4?
I'm not like at a 0 or a 1. I give that a chance. I'm surprised, but I do.
4?
Yeah, middle
ish.
I would guess no, but okay.
Who do we have?
Hey, this is Eric. There's no way I could be as entertaining as that last call.
Big Say, you want to follow that? Go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, I just had a couple questions.
Sure.
So first of all, you guys kind of predict that Orgeron's probably going to be out at LSU. I agree. I think that's a pretty good prediction. Do you think LSU would ever go for, or I should say, who would be more likely LSU would go for if the two options are here? You have Willie Fritz and Billy Napier.
Napier.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Younger, at least seen as a higher ceiling.
Although Napier is in the process, and Chase has been talking about this for a while, and he's not the only one, but I'm going to give him credit. Napier is in the process of being one of these guys that waited too long.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I mean, how long has he been at UL Lafayette? I mean, it's been quite a few years.
4
or 5 years, yeah. He's had some opportunities.
Yeah.
And
he's turned down some decent gigs and just completely taken himself out of several gigs.
And nobody has any idea, like, what job he's waiting on.
Well, the rumor is he's waiting on LSU. I mean, the other rumor is he's waiting on Alabama. But
he's in his fourth season.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm waiting on Alabama as a real risky proposition for anybody because
he just hasn't done.
Who the hell knows, right?
Right.
And everyone will want that job. And here's the thing: the one thing that nobody completely knows is, does Dabo want the job? Because if Dabo wants the job, he'll get the job.
No doubt. I agree with that. I guess one last thing, since y'all kind of mentioned this too really quick. Y'all talked about Lane probably having to get like a transfer quarterback for next season and whatnot. Chase, how about the Jacksonville State quarterback,
I apologize to Mr. and Miss, whatever his last name is. He did look like crap on the start of that drive.
You really don't owe an apology because that drive was completely mismanaged.
But was it on the coaches?
It's possible, but whatever it was, I mean, I can understand why you had the sentiment you had.
It was a hell of a throw, though.
It was a hell of a throw. And it was awful coverage. I still can't believe that the coverage was blown that bad.
Where's he going? There are trips, right.
Well, why are there not 3 safeties in the back?
It's the last play of the game.
Keep the play in front of you. You win the game. BYU just scored.
Ball game.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, man.
They look
that's
good.
the holy war.
Yeah.
So much fun. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. But, yeah, enjoy you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, look, ULL with Napier, anything more than one loss is a status quo deal there as far as trying to get a big job. And he's still got, all jokes aside, South Alabama in Mobile.
Sure.
App State. Yeah. And Liberty on the schedule.
Tough games.
They could lose all of them, technically.
Easily.
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, all. Did anybody else's squad come up with a moral victory against the middling ACC team today like mine did?
Well, I gave you credit, Mark. I said y'all were more back than the rest of these people. I mean, Milton stays healthy. You never know. You might have even beat Pittsburgh.
I mean, just middling ACC teams can't even beat them. And I don't think they'll go. I think they'll be fortunate to go 5-7. Here's why: the last 2 games are South Alabama and Vandy, and if they lose, 6 or 5 of the next 7, those kids are really going to play hard for a coach that didn't recruit them. In those last 2 games, they can lose to South Alabama, and they can lose to this Vandy team.
They can't lose to Vanderbilt. They can't lose to that Vanderbilt team, Neil. Come on.
Jeez. I mean,
they're not good, but they don't royally suck.
They might by the end of the year.
Is Milton back? Is he okay? What's the deal there?
I didn't watch one play, dude. Come on. I didn't watch one play. I played golf.
Did you watch a play of Ole Miss?
I was on pay-per-view. I didn't. Sorry to stream that one.
Okay.
No, I'll watch Ole Miss when they're on.
Okay.
I caught a little bit of the end of the Ohio State game.
The backup quarterback could run around a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No, I was reading from the stream. Somebody said the backup was better than Milton. He's not better than Milton, but he could run around a little bit.
I mean, keep in mind, Milton couldn't play in the Big Ten. He's going to play in the SEC.
I mean, he didn't play in the ACC today. Would you rather be a Tennessee fan or a Florida State fan today?
Florida.
No, Tennessee. I'd rather be a Tennessee.
Tennessee, just because.
Norvell's 3-11 in Tallahassee, by the way.
Yeah, I'd rather be a Tennessee. Tennessee over Florida State all day.
Yeah, I think so. At least you're in the SEC and you get to see good football. Travel to your stadium. No, but this DC for Ohio State's in big trouble. Oh my God, they're out the pitchforks. See, Ohio State's going to like this Hugh Freeze method of recruiting where you recruit 19 wide receivers every class and you refuse to go get any linebackers that can actually play. It's really interesting because they can't defend anybody.
So you think they're in trouble several times this year?
I think Penn State can get them. They wouldn't play out of the championship game. But if you can have some kind of intermediate passing game against these guys and can confuse them with motion, they're clueless. This DC is a good rah-rah guy and a recruiter, but he's no defensive coordinator. I don't know what they were thinking hiring him. I've got no idea. But they got a couple QBs on the roster that'll be looking for homes next year, so I'm sure Ole Miss will be interested.
Do they have to play Wisconsin?
They normally play Wisconsin in the regular season.
That'll be an interesting game.
I think they're a 2-3. I think it's possible, because normally it's not possible for them to lose in the Big Ten. It's just not. They're so athletically superior to the rest of the league. It's just a joke. It's a high-level SEC operation kind of slumming in the Big Ten.
They've got, frankly,
year,
they've got a cake schedule, Mark. I mean, I'm looking at Ohio State's schedule.
Yeah.
Tulsa, Akron, Rutgers, next 3. Maryland.
Oh, God.
Indiana.
Win.
Then they play Penn State.
We'll see.
In Happy Valley. It's at home.
We'll find out a lot about Penn State Saturday.
Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan State, Michigan.
God, that is cake.
Yeah, it's pretty cake.
And Michigan State's at home.
They'll get Iowa, and they get Iowa in the championship
game. And then Iowa in the championship game. Yeah, which is losable.
Oh, sure. If they played Iowa today, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
They just can't. They can't. I mean, I knew their linebacker play was bad, but man, it's atrocious for how they recruit. Just atrocious. Did we ever figure out what happened? Did I ever call back with the wife that's passed out?
Not yet. I'm watching for it.
What kind of believability are you putting on it, Mark?
Oh, I put a 5 on it.
Okay, yeah.
He sounds kind of feisty, too, like he's trying to start an argument with y'all.
Well, I thought it was going to be a joke, but when no punchline came, I went, maybe he's just telling the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, what's in Iuka, Mississippi? I've never been.
Not much.
Nothing.
I mean, Pickwick. Close.
They have
some country songs written about it.
Where is Iuka, Mississippi?
It's right on the Tennessee border.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, that is a good baseball jersey. I just saw
It's a good baseball jersey.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. Iowa.
And so, Neil, do you think Cristobal took a big step forward to getting that Alabama job after Saban leaves?
Ooh, the Alabama job. He took a step forward in general. I don't know about the whole Alabama thing. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, Saban might be 5 years away. And I don't know what that looks like in 5 years. I mean, the list of people that are trying to position themselves for that job, frankly, it's Cristobal, Napier, Kiffin. It's Dabo's job today if he wants it. So it's kind of a weird deal, right? I mean, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, how many years would Lane Kiffin have to win at Ole Miss to get the Alabama job?
Oh, I don't think he's a fit.
No, he's definitely not a fit for sure. But I mean,
I don't think they go that route. I mean, I love Lane. Don't get me wrong. I'd crawl over broken glass.
You want the truth? Here's the truth about Lane Kiffin. Lane's kind of antisocial.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. He doesn't like doing a lot of media stuff unless it's like national stuff that can be quick hits. And when he does that national stuff, he shows up 30 seconds before the interview, does it, and he's gone.
I don't think he's going to take another college job. I think he's going to the NFL if he goes somewhere. My thought.
6 months ago, I would have disagreed with you. Today, I tend to agree with you. I wouldn't necessarily bet on it, but I don't. Actually, I think more and more and more, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss are a fit, and everyone's figuring it out. It was a little awkward for everybody at first, but he fits them. And the truth is, and the part that the national media doesn't get, is that Ole Miss fits him. There aren't but a handful of us that cover the program. None of us are like these crazies. We're not demanding his time and stuff. I mean, he can live in. Here's the other thing that Ole Miss offers that he wouldn't have at LSU, for example. He wouldn't have at Alabama, for example. He can, when the season ends, he can go to Boca and go fish on his boat for weeks at a time. And at worst, the people at Ole Miss will get irritated. No one will make an issue of it. At Alabama, people
if he wins, no one's gonna care.
But at Alabama, people would say, "Hey, we've got this booster. You've got to do this. You've got to do that." And at LSU, there's all sorts of demands that you simply have to fulfill. It was one of the reasons that Nick Saban left there.
Yeah, that's why I think I've said that he's not taking a college job.
And then here's the other thing about Oxford. Here's the other thing about
I don't think he takes a college job.
The other thing about Oxford it's not this way in Tuscaloosa or something. And Lane doesn't go out much here. But for the most part, like if he went out on a Tuesday night in Oxford, people would leave him alone. Mm-hmm. I mean, Eli Manning walks through the grocery store in Oxford and no one bothers him. A
kid may ask for an autograph.
I mean, literally, I was in Kroger one day with the same time with Eli Manning. This is when he was winning Super Bowls in the NFL. And I saw one little boy go up and ask him for an autograph. And I wasn't like stalking him in the store, but I saw him multiple times, and people just would walk right by Eli Manning. And they just left him alone.
Chase, I got a question for you.
Sure.
The golfer Michael Thompson.
Uh-huh.
Have he and Eli Manning ever been in the same room?
You know, you don't see Michael Thompson without a hat on very often, but when you do, you've got a really good point. Now, he puts the hat on, and they separate a little bit.
I think they look like identical twins.
Yeah. I think, though, for whatever reason, when the hat goes on, I don't feel it's the same. But, yeah, you don't have a bad point there.
Stanford up 28-13 over
Yeah,
USC.
Slovis threw a pick six.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 28-13 Cardinal.
Hey, Mark, thanks for the call.
USC will be taking the coach that I wanted at Tennessee, James Franklin. Lovely.
He's got a big one Saturday.
Yeah. They blew out Ball State. I thought that was letdown city. I bet Ball State today. He was letdown city for them.
Hey, Mark, would you like an Ole Miss hat from the College Corner?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, get in touch with us. Send me
but I'm on Twitter. I kicked off Twitter. So
Send an email.
Send an email. It's myname@gmail.com.
All right. I'll wear it down to Knoxville for the Ole Miss Tennessee game.
All right. Okay. Well, get me an address. Get me an address, and I'll mail it to you. It's courtesy of the College Corner, collegecornerstore.com.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, Mark.
You don't want to give Bud a hat?
I had questions for Bud.
He did not answer them thoroughly enough to get a hat. It's close.
Would it have been bad if I just said, have things been consummated?
It felt like that was a yes. It was just it was not the experience.
I thought it was going to be a no.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's Andrew. Just, I was thinking about watching these games today, and it's so fun to watch these teams lose. Schadenfreude is such a huge, I think, motivator in college football for us to watch games that aren't part of our, aren't our favorite teams.
Sure.
Do you think that I'm not really much of an NFL, college football is my favorite sport. As an NFL fan, as a college baseball fan, or as a baseball fan in general, do you think Schadenfreude plays that big a role? Do you get that kind of excitement when the Vikings lose, Chase?
No,
I do when I see LSU drop a game.
It's a college football thing far more than it is an NFL game. I will definitely enjoy some failures of the Atlanta Falcons, but no, that's an emotional pageantry college football thing. Plus, because of the stupid nature of the sport in general, you get so many more weird elements of things to have Schadenfreude from. That no, I don't feel like it translates to any professional sport the same way it does college. I mean, to an extent, sure. I mean, Neil would like Patrick Beverly to basically rot his entire life, but I mean, otherwise, no, I don't see that being a huge thing.
Yeah, I think part of it's the lack of parity. I mean, when you see a program like Florida State get taken down by a Jacksonville State, I think it's so much more satisfying. Whereas in the NFL, for example, everyone's playing with the same salary cap, basically.
Yeah, everyone's playing with pros, sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the Vikings beat the Panthers. I mean, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like in college, for whatever reason, I feel like fan bases have, and maybe this is true in the pros too, that fan bases seem to have such a personality to them that you can kind of associate. Maybe that's just being on Twitter too much. But
all right, thanks for the call, Andrew. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That's a good point too. A 9/11
I
wedding.
was getting ready to ask you the same thing. Would you get married on September the 11th?
No.
No. I mean, no.
I know a lot of people that have gotten married on September 10th, but
would you get married on September the 11th, knowing the significance that has?
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Brad Nyuka.
Hey, you're back.
Right. I noticed a while ago that you guys had me up as Bud, like from the Cosby Show.
Well, I thought you said Bud.
B-R-D.
All right, Brad.
Yeah, we thought we said
we got you here. We're good. Brad from Iuka.
Yeah. Iuka.
Gotcha.
Yep. So sorry. We were talking about Cisco song.
What happened? Did she wake up?
No, she didn't wake
up. Okay.
She did not wake up.
You just lost your signal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Out here on the back deck, got the two TVs on. I know you guys were watching Bandy a while ago. Am I? And stepped out on the back.
But neither one of us got married tonight, Brad.
Excuse me?
Neither one of us got married tonight.
Poo-poo for you guys. It was a blast.
So you don't sound happy, Brad. I mean, is this a marriage that you were dragged into? Are you happy about it? Or are you?
Oh no, I'm ecstatic.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for you two guys, but I think it was a little bit of confusion going in. You know, as a guy that's never been married before.
What are you? What are you?
Different.
What are you confused about?
You know, I thought there would be this, just this overwhelming moment of glee, joy. Maybe maybe that's maybe that's not the right phrasing. I just thought that it would be a bigger deal. Maybe
getting married.
To both parties. I mean, it was a big deal to me.
Right.
You know, I stepped on there and whatnot. But
are you referring to the wedding night? You thought it would be a bigger deal to her than it was to you?
Well, you know, I think that's a reach there, Neil. But you know, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I just I thought it would be, you know, kind of like Christmas Day, except in the late summer when it's really hot, and two borderline middle-aged adults.
I mean, I understand what you're saying from an anticipation standpoint. What did you? Go
ahead.
Did you have? Sorry, Neil's making me laugh. Did you have pause with getting married on September the 11th? Just with the significance of the day?
I feel like it's going to be easy to remember.
Well, that's true.
It's also her birthday.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, it's all good. What, Neil?
No, go ahead.
I'm waiting, guys.
I mean, we're here. I don't know.
Were there? Okay, let me do it this way. Were there fireworks tonight?
Just the sparklers, just the ones, the long sparklers that the people hold out over you, like when you're leaving the archway and you're going down the stairs. They hold them over your head. You know, they burn your rental tux and all that good stuff.
Were there? So there were literal sparklers.
Yeah,
were there figurative sparklers tonight?
Not sure where you're going. No, there were the literal ones, and I'm very concerned about the deposit I put down on the tux, and my younger brother burned part of the sleeve of his. I mean, to get to where you're going, Neil, of course, 2 people in our early to mid-30s. That's not why I'm calling.
Okay, then help. Why are you calling? Fill me in, because I'm clearly heading down the wrong path.
Yeah, no, hell, I'm calling because she's asleep and it's midnight and there's no one on except for Vandy, and I subscribe to you guys, and everybody else calls about their pre-engagements, engagements, wedding nights, kids being born, everything else. I didn't want to be left out.
I understand that.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
What's anything tomorrow? You have guests like stay in town or whatever? I mean, what's going on Sunday?
Church.
Okay. You got family hanging around to go with you as well?
I'm sure you can relate.
No, I'm good.
What can you relate to, Chase?
Church on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Fine. Did you have to wear a mask or anything necessary in Iuka tonight? Like, was there any restrictions because of the situation going on?
What situation?
The pandemic.
No, that was over a long time ago here.
Okay. I'm from Amory. I get it.
No. No. Masks are a way of identifying who you voted for where we live.
Okay.
Before you go to church in the morning, what do you have planned? Just wake up and have some coffee, or what?
Maybe take the dog out for a little bit. Got as a gift lab. He's 5 months old. Really excited about him. He looks to be excited too.
Is he asleep?
Yeah, he's in and out.
Okay.
I will give him that. He's not all the way out like others, but he's he seems like a keeper. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. How old's the lab?
5 months.
Oh, 5 months.
5 months. Yes.
Did y'all get him together?
Yeah.
Was that kind of like
the
the thing?
wedding gift? Yeah.
Oh,
wedding
really?
gift.
Okay.
Yep. Really excited about him.
Other than the dog, what was your favorite wedding gift?
Favorite wedding gift. Got a hand-me-down Bible.
From whom?
Grandparents.
Okay.
Yep. Pretty nice gift there, to be honest with you. Been in the family since the late 30s.
Oh, really?
Yep.
King James edition?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. I mean, I assumed. Were you able to use that in the ceremony to some extent?
This came about after.
Oh, did it? Okay. Who technically gave it to you? A parent?
Grandparent.
Oh,
yep.
really? Okay.
Grandparent.
Okay.
Yep. Lucky enough to still have one remaining.
I understand. Okay.
Yep.
So do you have to wait? Last thing, and we'll let you get on with your night.
Yeah.
Do you have to wake her up at some point to tell her to go to bed? I mean, you're going to let her stay on the couch the entire night for her wedding night, or what? What's the plan here?
That's the part I'm not sure about. I don't want to be rude.
Is that why you called?
Would you be able to carry her to the bed? Sorry.
I can hear you guys laughing. I'm not sure if that's a joke against her weight.
No, I have no idea. I'm just asking, would you be able to escort her to the bed so that she doesn't spend her wedding night on the couch?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I could do a piggyback. Maybe not like carrying across the threshold type of carry.
I think I think you have to wake her up and have her go to bed. I don't think you can let her stay on the couch all night. I think that's a faux pas and a problem.
Yeah, not a good.
I feel pretty
not
strongly
a good way to
about
start
this.
the marriage. Yes, agreed.
But do you think that we are staying in a rental on the lake? Does that matter?
Why would that matter?
Why would that? Yeah, agreed. Why would that?
Well, it's not place. I mean, it's not like I'm leaving her on the couch at home.
I'm talking about so she doesn't wake up with a crick in her neck.
Or that she doesn't wake up on her wedding night at 4 a.m. and realize she's on the couch and you're asleep in the bed and have her feelings badly hurt.
Yeah, that too.
Nah, I don't know about that. She's pretty resilient. She's a pretty tough gal. I don't know. I probably could carry her if it came down to it. I mean, like if there was a fire.
Just wake her up and tell her it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
We would love to talk to her. So in the event that she wakes up.
You guys going to do another show for the Tulane weekend? We're thinking about going to the game, but we might not.
We would love to talk to her.
All right. Well, her name's Whitney.
Okay.
We might call this week.
We will look forward to it, Brad. And congratulations again on the wedding. And hopefully you and Whitney have a long, happy life together.
Oh, thanks a lot. Hope to call again.
I hope so too, Brad. Thanks.
All right. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Someone says, why would there be a fire?
I call.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Greg from Ohio.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, sweet baby Moses! I was just listening to Brad.
Yeah, so were we.
I'm just surprised y'all didn't ask him about because he was talking about the hand-me-down Bible from his grandparents.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't ask him about him studying up on Song of Solomon, so he knows what he needs to do on this night.
I'm still
listening to.
I'm still a little frustrated that I didn't let him finish the Cisco conversation that we were.
You're probably not the only person frustrated.
We were.
I'm confused what he was going to talk about, and he cut out. I don't know, but I'm just surprised you guys did not bring that up because I actually was gonna ask you guys about how this season was gonna be different, but Brad kind of threw a metaphorical wrench into our wedding plans for tonight. Oh God. I'm dumbfounded. He did not catch on at all. As a 30-year-old man, I could catch every single hint you were throwing.
So on the believability,
so you're saying you believe it's real?
On Chase's believability scale, from 1 being no, it's an absolute prank, to 10 being it's real. Where do you fall?
I was higher. I was close to a 10.
Oh.
Before he brought up the song. A phrase I never thought I was going to say in real life was before the song.
Yeah, sure.
I feel you, Greg.
It just seems so out of place and so deadpan that it seems believable because I sell cell phones on a daily basis. They're just that people where you ask a question I don't understand what you're saying. I just use my cell phone to make calls. It's that same type of deadpan. So I'm I find it believable. I'm just, oh my God.
Where are you on the 1 to 10, Chase?
4.5.
Yeah, I'm like a 5. I'm right in the middle.
I have a couple problems that make me want to say 1, but then I've got a few things where I went,
Yeah. Because I threw some.
He was more concerned about the rental tux than he was.
No, I'll be honest. That the thing that throws me off, that makes me want to say it's a 1, is that he told us in the first call that they were at home, and then he said he's at a rental on the water.
Changed his story.
Now look, could they be renting a place? Sure. I mean,
sure.
There's some loopholes there.
But he referred to it the first time as home.
Yes.
And the second time
he did say home. Okay, never mind. That changes everything. You Sherlocked him out of his own joke.
Yeah, because that was the whole deal. Said, "Where'd you go?" And he said, "Home." Very deadpan.
Yeah.
And then later it was.
He's going to call in and he say it was well, the lake home, my rental home is my second home. It's kind of like the same thing to me.
I mean, Iuka has a lot of stuff on the water. I mean,
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, geez. Well, oh my god, oh my god. I actually did have a question. I was just gonna say, like, after seeing 2 games and seeing who has won and lost, how would your college football playoff predictions from like a week ago?
That's
how
good.
Those have changed?
Because you wouldn't put Clemson in it, and you wouldn't put Ohio State in it after today.
Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah, Alabama, Georgia for sure.
Oregon.
Would you think the SEC would have 3 teams?
No.
Because I would say no.
No. I mean, should they? Maybe.
Oregon can run that schedule. I don't think they will, but a one-loss Oregon's probably in.
Who are they going to lose to, though?
Don't they have to go undefeated? Oklahoma's in the mix right now too, because like you've watched Iowa State, you've watched Texas.
Who's beating
OU?
Yeah, I think today I would say 2 SEC teams, Oregon, OU, and the Big Ten's out. Now Ohio State can run it, beat Iowa, and be back in.
Yeah, because Notre Dame's not running a table.
They suck.
Yeah, they're very average. As much as it would be more interesting for me to debate you, I think you're right.
I mean, I think a one-loss Oregon can get in because they have the Ohio State win.
Oh, did you see where Utah's gotten within 6?
Right, escalated.
Yeah,
they're not going to cover, but
do you think that another Big 12 team could take down Oklahoma? Because I know they're like we all know Big 12.
I mean, it's not Texas.
But Tulane was able to keep up with Oklahoma in Oklahoma. It was technically a home game for Tulane, but in reality, they were close with Oklahoma in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
but it's not
opening weekend. They were down by 3 scores at one point.
And Tulane played this really emotional, inspired game.
Yeah, I'm trying to not put too much on that. I mean, maybe it ends up being more real than I think, but right now I'm trying not to overdo that.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think they'll have like another like they being Tulane? Do you think they'll have another emotion-filled game next week? Like, do you think that's gonna?
Frankly, I think it's more likely that they finally have a letdown.
Well,
I mean, they've been living in Birmingham for weeks now. I mean, it's got to be old. There's a story out there about they have dogs and cats.
They're literally
and
living in a hotel in the middle of Birmingham.
Yeah, they're living in Birmingham. They played today in front of 2,200 people at Legion Field.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, come on, it's got to be depressing. They have a brand new stadium
Plus,
in New Orleans.
at this point, you're worried about people back home. Like, it's just stuff. Well, logistics are getting to you now.
Well, they have girlfriends and stuff, and people haven't seen people, and sure, of course.
Are they going to be just an away team this year because of
the Saints are back in
damages?
Week 4, so I assume Tulane is back somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah, not all year, but like for a month,
a couple more weeks.
Yeah,
probably.
That's got to be pretty depressing.
So do you think like the away games that were supposed to happen near the end of the year? Do you think they're going to try to transition them back to
I don't know.
home games?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I think you just whatever home games are left get played, which ones aren't.
Yeah.
Oof. I feel bad for them, but I still hope they lose next week and then run the table against everybody else because I'm biased, obviously.
Hey, Greg, thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
So what do we have up here?
It's 21-21. Colorado State just scored, and a Vanderbilt guy got a targeting call, I think.
So we could still push this in overtime. Could even win it in overtime.
What's the line?
7.
7.
We just need a push to get out of here because a push is a win with us. BYU trying to dagger this thing.
Who do we have?
Hey, boy. How y'all doing?
Bubba, it's awfully late for you. How are you? You doing okay?
I'm doing all right. Just sitting here. That old boy Bragg kept me up. Made me laugh. Sitting here about drunk.
Yeah.
So,
you think he lives in the water in Iuka?
Man, he ain't an Iuka, man.
Yeah.
Come on now. All I know is this: last thing I do when I'm married on a honeymoon night or wedding night is call up you boys. I mean, I love y'all and everything.
Well, we love you too, but I agree. And Matt Smith said, this is the power of this show. He says, my wife looked up wedding announcements and their names for Iuka and didn't find anything.
But they're mid-30s. Yeah. Maybe they just didn't have anything.
But they got married. If they got married, someone there would know. Come on, how big of a town is that?
Not large.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bigger than Walmart, but not big.
I took Daddy. We take him to one game a year. We're going to go, 2 this year. Took him to the Tennessee game. Thought he was going to jump off the top of the stadium.
Oh, y'all went today?
We did.
Oh, God.
Watch Pitt. Yeah, he's depressed.
I bet he is.
His birthday's tomorrow, and he said he just wants Hugh Freeze to get hired.
Well, first of all, happy birthday to Daddy.
83.
83. That's awesome.
Yep. So
was he upset? Was he angry or upset?
What do you think? Two. Okay. Who's going to be a real true backup? I wasn't impressed with the backup quarterbacks, and then
John Rice Plumlee.
What about Pickering?
And how about Coach O? You think he's done this year?
Yes. By week 7.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Chase, I got some good news on the puppy.
Okay.
He's housebroken. He's just about done.
Congratulations.
Yep, it's a big thing. He came up here with me. He's chewing up the world, but he's all right. So, you boys have a good night. I'm an hour ahead of y'all. So
yeah, I think you're done for the
night.
Yeah,
I appreciate everything.
Yep.
Thanks, Bubba.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I mean, Vandy is on the field. They were playing. They have the ball almost midfield.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Seals, the quarterback at Vanderbilt.
That's him.
Yeah.
We'll see how this one goes. I've got a Kiffin transcript and I've got Kiffin video that I'll post momentarily.
Okay.
If you're still with us at 12:33. And if you're sitting on the site hitting refresh at 12:33 after
God bless you.
After a 50-something to 17 win over Austin Peay.
54-17.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't really Daniel says, what was your favorite 9/11 tribute? I watched some stuff today, but I'll be honest, I had to kind of moderate myself. I couldn't just sit around all day and watch 9/11 stuff.
No, I couldn't either.
I didn't need to do that. I'm a dork. One of my favorite things was seeing the Pointer website and all of the headlines and front pages from September 12th, 2001. Went through and saw like 40, 50 different front pages and how they covered it, what they had as the art and stuff like that. That was kind of neat to go back to that time. Everybody keeps talking about these couple documentaries, but I just haven't knocked them out yet.
I've listened to the one on History Channel, a podcast. That it's pretty in-depth.
The National Geographic documentary apparently is incredible.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it's incredible.
Hey, who do we have?
Boys, I don't think I can go to sleep without knowing whether or not the marriage got consummated or not.
Yeah,
we're starting to poke some holes in it.
I'm not sure that this is real. I'm sliding down from 5 to a 3.
I keep coming up with little more issues as we talk. I'm still giving it a chance, but it's lowering as we go.
When he went to the thong song, I kind of thought of the movie Old School, where he says we're going to put on the thong song and go.
But I'm mad at myself because I want to know what the next couple sentences were, and I feel like we could have really solved this riddle.
We could have,
and we got away from it.
Dived in on the thong.
Yeah, it was kind of our fault because he was making a joke, but I didn't feel like the whole bit was to get to that punchline.
Right.
So I can't figure out where that was trying to go right there.
Kudos to that guy, though, because he held a straight face the whole time.
He did.
He did.
He deadpanned it pretty
for
damn
sure.
well. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he did good. You boys have a good night. I just wanted to say that.
Right.
You too.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
All right.
Vanderbilt has a lineman down.
2:17 left, and BYU just scored. They got the dagger.
But just a field goal?
A lot of people there in Provo. Nobody wearing a mask.
No.
It rained, everything. They had a lot of things happen at the Holy War.
9-point lead, 3:17 left for the Cougars.
You wonder if Utah is like a party school?
They are, yeah.
Utah is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been to Salt Lake City.
I haven't either. I've flown through there, but that doesn't count.
Have you?
On the way to Tempe.
Okay.
Phoenix.
You had to
connect in Salt Lake.
So you got out at the airport?
I mean, I walked through the airport.
So does that count as being in Utah or
no?
no?
You have to be outside of your airport.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. Jeffrey thinks that Colorado State is wearing these to give credit to the sponsor on their field. And it's as good of an answer as anything.
This is the end for Helton, right? Getting blown out by Stanford.
Doesn't help. Vanderbilt gets Stanford next week.
Pine Belt Adventures says most of Utah's students are Latter-day
LDS.
Saints.
Just without the rules that are going on at Utah?
I
or
guess so.
BYU?
You got to have a certain degree of confidence to pull off the thong too, right? I mean, you got to not just anybody.
I guess
could.
he was telling us that she was wearing one tonight.
That was how that was what I.
You inferred that from what he said?
I inferred that from what I felt like he was implying.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
The wood low ball. What are we talking about?
He's talking about my glass. It's not wood. It's what are these things called? The kind of insulated glasses.
Oh, it's like one of those Tervis things?
Yeah.
So they setting up for a kick? What are we doing? Where's the ball?
Around midfield, right?
Their kicker is an Alabama transfer.
Barrett says, do you think there's any way USC reaches out to Kiffin again?
No.
Kind of doubt it.
No.
Oh, they're at the 20. Oh, they're setting up for a kick.
Block it and go the other way.
Yeah, I don't want to get that song stuck in my head either.
Can it get stuck in your head?
The thong song?
Yeah.
You just never know.
Okay.
It's not a chance I'd want to take.
I mean, if we're going to lose the game, do you want to see Vanderbilt win or no?
No. I don't know why I enjoy Vanderbilt losing.
Vanderbilt's in the SEC for the check because they always have been.
Yeah, I mean, they're a
charter member.
A charter member.
Tulane made a mistake.
Big time. What, Sewanee? What about the mistake they made? I missed a call, sorry.
Well, I mean, Sewanee didn't win a game in the SEC. They went 8 years without winning.
If you're the number that ends in 27, call back. I missed you. I'm sorry. I'm watching it now.
Last road win for Vanderbilt was at Arkansas. Let's say 2018?
2018. That was a Chad Morris special?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, his first year. Because 18, 19, then 2021 now for Pittman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a moment where you knew it was over for Morris, huh? Before it even started?
So that was year one, though. 13 straight losses to FBS teams. 11 straight overall. And 10 straight road losses.
$1:09 to go, 3rd and 8. Don't you go ahead and kick it here? In case you have a muff snap?
Yes. Unless they're trying to run the clock down.
Yeah. Colorado State's out of timeouts.
Yeah.
So they get no gain, put it in the center of the field. They can take 40 seconds off the clock.
And kick it. I don't hate it. I'm okay with that.
Hey, who do we have?
This is Steve Moses. What's going on, Neil and Chase?
Hey, what's up?
First time I called in, Chase hung up on me earlier, and then you ignored my call. Thanks, Neil.
I actually had minimized that window for a second. I've got like 10 windows up.
No, you're good. You're good. So do you think Brad from Mayuka's wife can smell the lambs?
Smell the what?
I'm hoping the lotion's not in the basket. C-Mo.
This is yeah, that's right. Chase gets it.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs joke.
Oh.
Dude, like, what was going on there?
I mean, 85% had us, but I got a couple issues that are just really dragging me down here.
Man, that guy.
I mean, I hope he calls back next time. I'm in.
I was going to say, I don't want to do that.
I'd like an update, you know.
What did he say the wife's name was?
Whitney,
right?
That's right. Whitney, that's right.
Brad and Whitney.
Brad and Whitney.
Oh, man. I bet she's a beautiful woman, you know.
I bet she is.
Colorado State plays Iowa in a couple weeks.
My money's on Iowa.
Think the Hawkeyes get it done?
Yeah. Oh, he's going to try to kick
Well,
it.
I just called in because no one else was calling in. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, we're just kind of watching.
Well, hang with us. Let's see if he makes the kick here. It's up, and it is.
No good.
Oh, he missed. Oh, he made it.
Oh, he just snuck it in.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm not watching football. I'm watching y'all, dude, you know.
We're watching football.
Watching primetime television, you know what I mean?
I know.
We're watching. I mean, there's probably as many people
Boy,
watching
he
us.
barely snuck that in.
Hey, Chase, did you get one of them Blantons from High Cotton?
Which ones?
The
Blantons.
One of them Blantons today.
No, I have not.
One of my buddies drove up from Jackson, Mississippi, you know, and got him one of them Blantons.
Surely they're out because I was in there the other
Yeah, they were out about 11.
Yeah,
oh wow!
I bet.
They had a big old line, you know. What's the deal with Blantons these days, Chase? Can you fill me in?
It's overpriced because it gained a really big
Correct.
reputation, and it's good, but it's nowhere near that good. But once it happens, it's almost impossible to kind of lose that reputation. It just sticks, and the price goes up and up and up. I mean, you'll see it in damn liquor stores for like $110, $120, and it's like, oh come on.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. I'm drinking some blends right now. Just finished off a bottle, and I'm like, I've never paid more than like $70 for a bottle, and
I love
I know
straight from the
people
barrel.
going like 110.
Yeah, because
I'm like, no.
if I can find the straight from a barrel for a decent price, I love that. But the actual regular
That's fair.
blends, I have no interest in at the prices that it takes.
Yeah.
Because frankly, even 70 or 80, I got other stuff. I'm good.
Yeah. Because like anything is good as long as it's good, you know. Like booze wise, you don't have to have a blend bottle to be good.
No. I do like the
There's
round
Elijah
one.
Craig and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, if you're going to spend $120, there's better choices.
Well, Vanderbilt's going to win a football
Correct.
game.
Hey, who knows? We saw
man.
Jacksonville State do it earlier tonight. Let's see if we can.
Wait, is Vanderbilt about to win a football game?
They are.
Praise God, dude.
They're 14 seconds away.
24-21 with 14 ticks to go.
As long as Morgan Wallen's neighbor's not filming this, it's going to be okay.
Fair.
That's fair.
It's been a near miss kind of day for the Colorado schools against the SEC.
It has been a rough day in Colorado.
Oh, it lasts a couple plays here. Throw it deep.
You can't do that, bud. You get one shot now.
You're down to one play.
Yeah. Unless you thought you could run like a 25-yard out with 6 seconds and have 1 second left, and
he's in.
But
play.
that's not.
That's what she said.
That's true.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Not tonight.
Oh boy. Like Whitney, she never got it in either.
I don't think Whitney's saying that.
Yeah, 1792 is just, it does not fit my palate. There's very few 1792 that I like.
Chase, don't you like sweet wheat?
I'm for very high proofs. I've got a lot of wheated that I like. Oh, what are we doing?
They did the crazy play, but that ball went forward.
Is there a penalty? Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Anyway.
There was going to be one, yeah. Vanderbilt wins.
Some bitch. Somebody asked about Wisconsin earlier. They beat Eastern Michigan 34-7. Okay. Well, that was fun. Well, appreciate you hanging out with us till the end there.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call.
Yep. Had fun. Thank y'all.
Have a good night.
You.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Before I go, I'm the one who sent you the brisket meat pic. Please rate it on live air right now. Last week on Twitter.
Oh, I told you it was good. Yeah,
that looked pretty good, huh?
Yeah, you had the smoke ring and everything. Did it taste good?
Can I? Yeah, it was real nice. Can I also say something?
Yeah.
I think this is a money maker for you, bro. Like I heard you talking about like maybe an SEC show,
Yeah.
on one of the podcasts. Maybe get barbecue guys. Maybe get Stell Cracker on for like a 10-minute segment every week, and have at it.
That's a thought. We'll think about it. Hey, thanks for the call. Andrew says, Neil, I still owe you a bottle of Laphroaig. How do you say that?
Oh, what now? Oh, let me go.
Laphroaig.
When did he say you're supposed to be getting that?
He said, I still owe you a bottle of it.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks for the entertainment. Hope y'all have a better month than Brad's imaginary wife. Yeah, I don't think Brad has a real wife.
I think we got a Montateo situation.
I think
going
so.
on.
I think so. All right, we've been here for a long time, so we'll stop now. Ole Miss wins. What was
54-17.
54-17. Ole Miss and Tulane. Next Saturday night, we'll be with you next Saturday night.
7 o'clock.
7
kick
o'clock.
against Tulane.
So probably about 10:30 getting started here on the MPW Digital postgame show presented by Walk-Ons. So we'll be back Monday with another Oxford Exxon podcast, another week of podcast and all of the programming that you're used to on MPW Digital and at rebelgrove.com. So thanks for everybody being with us. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again next week. Bye.